and I will be taking the afternoon people. So that means you are getting to meet the lecturer that I have not even met. So we are lucky to be here. So Mr. Dayo Samuel is going to be taking us this morning while I take the afternoon people. I hope we can
Thank you
all
very
understand
much.
me.
All right, welcome, Mr. Dyer. So just to brief is, Mr. Dyer is also, like I told you, people that have been in the morning class. So our two facilitators in this program, they are, I don't want to call them lecturers because there's an idea you have of a lecturer, but they teach in a private institution, private university in Nigeria. Both of them teach in different private universities, and they bring a whole lot of experience and expertise to the class. So everybody, you can unmute your mic if your background is not noisy and clap and welcome Mr. Dio
Let me
Samuel.
be the first to say welcome, Dayo
Mr.
Samuel.
Dyer, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I saw you
You're welcome,
join
sir.
us.
So
Thank you,
all
thank
right.
you, thank you.
Good
So
morning,
so
sir.
Cool,
final
sir.
thing,
Prosper,
final
Nibili.
fi- so final
Sir,
thing.
good morning, sir.
Yeah. So in case you have, Mr. Dyer, in case you have question or anything, so where are our class reps? Class reps, can you signify? Class reps. Class reps.
Welcome, Mr. Dyer.
Where are
Thank
our class
you.
reps? Class reps, can you hear me?
Please
Is there
tell
any
him your
class rep in
name.
this class?
Class reps, tell him your name, please. Thank you.
I'm
I can't hear
Line.
class reps. Are you here?
available yet.
Okay, so class rep now. I don't know, but our class reps, they seem like they are being, I don't know, but I can't see any of them in class right now. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to appoint a young man to support them, so to make them four. All right, so finally, I'm going to post
For
the
class rep.
attendance, and I mean, so they had three ladies before, three ladies. So I just want to add a guy.
Wow. I think I
So
should be feminist to add a man too, or I should be maninist.
To be a maninist.
all right. So so I'm going to post the attendance at intervals. I'm going to post the opening attendance soon. So I'm going to tell you when I do that. So you just fill your opening attendance as soon as you can. Then I'm also going to post the closing attendance towards. Please remember our break time is 11. So just prepare yourself before the break time. Get involved and do all you can. All right. So I'm going to see you later. Over to you, Mr. Dyer.
Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Toby. Thank you for having me here. And for everyone who's just getting to meet me, I am Dio Samuel, as have been introduced. And my work here is clearly defined. I'll be walking you through some aspects of what you've been doing since Monday. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody right now. So the only people that are permitted to unmute themselves will be those who are primarily Micah, Toby, and Moturaya. Aside from those, if you unmute yourself without being asked to, I'm going to ask the disciplinary committee of NCDC to come and grab you. So they will take you to isolation center. So good morning once again. So today, let me ask you a couple of questions before we jump right into. So I'm going to ask maybe 5 persons to answer this question. At this point, with what you've been learning so far, with what you've covered on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today being Thursday, what on a scale of 0 to 10, what would you say what level would you say you were before now, and what level would you say you are right now? So I want just 5 persons to answer. The question is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very low, 10 being now high. What would you say is the scale of how the improvement you've had since you joined this class?
Okay.
So
Okay, let me begin.
For me,
My name is Young Anyang.
your name is what?
My name is Young Anyang.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure that I heard the name correctly.
Okay. Okay, so I'll begin. Before now, we've been doing Canva, and I've been using Canva to practice for quite some time. But I became even more confident that I could use Canva to create some very beautiful stuff. So I would say that I was on a scale 5 before, but now I'm on 8. So there's a bit of improvement. Like, I'm much more confident I can use Canva now to do amazing stuff.
Okay. Have you ever called yourself by the name Ambassador?
Well, I know you know.
Because that was the reason why I asked that. You should repeat your name again. I wanted to be sure that did my ears hear well. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I saw a hand raised earlier on. Okay.
Sorry, sorry. So the male class rep is that, so the person I'm appointing is Young Ganyahu. So Young, you can, if your background is not noisy.
Thank you, sir.
The morning lecturer thinks this is corruption. No, honestly, this is corruption.
Mr. Micah, they said that you have just corrupted the people.
I support too. I support too.
That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Anyway, you will have that to settle with Micah and Young and Mr. Toby. So who's speaking next? Who's going next? I saw somebody answer the other time.
Yeah.
I saw somebody raise this the time.
My name is Afo Jeremiah.
Okay, Afo Jeremiah. I like the baritone of your voice.
Thank you. Okay, for me too, I've been using Canva for some time, but I think I've not been able to do so much with it. But since we started with Mr. Toby, I think I would say I'm now on scale 7. So I appreciate Mr. Toby for that.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Who wants to go next?
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
My name is Badatongwa. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I didn't know any. I will put myself on 1 in the scale of 1 to 10 because I just knew very little about Canva initially. But then, from the few classes we've had with Mr. Toby, I think I will go up to 8 on the scale of 1 to 10. With my
amazing.
few classes with Mr. Toby. Yes.
Amazing. You guys know why I'm asking you to rate yourself, so that you can see where you are coming from and where you've gotten to so far. And we must give credence to the one and lonely Toby Benro. We must give credence to him. So unmute yourself and clap for him.
Sir Toby today.
Ayomide Aro will be
Hi.
Please say something.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Okay, so I've always had the Canva app on my phone, and I've always had like the PC version too for months. But the truth is, I never opened it, and I've heard a lot about the things it can do, but I've never actually put it to work. And then I just joined the class yesterday, and while
Wow.
practicing, I was quite amazed by just yesterday's class and the extent at which I could go. So I would say anything like -1 on the scale, I would give myself that. But let's just say I was on the scale of 1. But now I can say I'm comfortably on a 4.5, at least not an average yet, but a 4.5 to a 5. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing.
That's
Thank you,
good.
thank you,
That's good.
thank you.
Good
That's
morning,
good. That's
Mr.
good.
Dayo.
Adela,
Good morning.
Adela Lade, are you the one speaking?
No, Adekamsi Akinlawo.
Okay, go on.
Jen. Yes. Actually, before now, I've heard of graphics design, but I don't know what it is. I don't know how they go about it. So I'm starting the class on Monday with Mr. Toby guiding us, instructing us. So, and for a while now, I've been practicing doing some several designs, and I'm happy that I can at least rate myself or grade myself on a level of 7/10 by now.
Oh,
It's
amazing, amazing, amazing.
it made it quite easy for us.
Amazing, 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 amazing. Thank you for that. Now, everybody, Adela Lade, you're raising your hand. You want to say something, right? You'll be the last person, okay?
Yes. Okay. Good morning. My name is Adiola Alade. Actually, I've been on Canvas before, but I don't really know how to navigate. So I joined the class yesterday, but for now, through the going through the class yesterday, I've been able to at least navigate very well on Canvas, and I've been able to do quite a number of things. So the rating myself from 1 to 10, for now I would say maybe I'm on maybe 5, at least for now. The class yesterday was just
before, what would you rate yourself?
before, let me just say 0 because I just have the application on my phone just there. I can't use it. I don't even know what to do about it. So it's like it's complex. But going through the class yesterday, it was just helpful. Even though yesterday was my first day in class, but I've been able to do quite a number of things.
Amazing. That's amazing. You have it on your phone, right? I think I heard you mention that. Okay, good. So I'm also going to walk you through how to also use it on your phone today, as well as show you some intricacies inside the web. So everybody, let's jump right into today's version of your class. My work is just like Jesus Christ said, all the way. My work is to build on what Mr. Toby has done so far. Okay. So my work is to build on that and show you some other ways you can use Canva, because sometimes I'm on the road and I'm being asked to design something like tomorrow now. An organization, you're actually going to see it, an organization is going to be doing a happy birthday message for someone, and I don't have time to sit down and do a complete design from scratch using software. So what I've done over time is to kind of put up a template that I now use inside Canva myself. So I'm going to be showing you how I use Canva, how I use Canva, and how you can also begin to use Canva that same way. At this point, I will need to confirm, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, of these designs that you're looking at, let me point a couple of things to you. This is my own Canva dashboard. This design here with this design that is scrolling right now, we made it yesterday with just a phone. This one with experience stacking here was made with a phone. In fact, these create designs with your phone is made with a phone. And maybe I should even start with this and show you how I put together that design. And let this start off as inspiration for you. So if you look at this design right now, you may be wondering, oh, look at this, it looks very fine. Let me show you how I put it together. So that this should be, so let's do like the taking off of everything. In fact, I think I should maybe I should just switch to my phone and show you. So this is the background. This is text here. This is text here. This is text here. And this is a picture here. These are elements. These are elements. These are different elements put together. And my phone has started listening to my voice and trying to write what I'm saying. So do you get it now? Can you see how this entire design was put together? And it was made on a phone. At the time I made this design, I wasn't even using Canva on laptop yet. So I basically made it on the phone. This is also another design here. And this one, I'm still hearing voice. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. This design here was made using a phone as well. So this design was made on a phone. All of these are elements picked up from inside Canva. This is the only thing, or let's say this one, these two, and these three are the only things I brought into Canva. So in order to show you how I do that, let me start first with laptop here. So let me just point out a couple of things that can improve how you use Canva. So first element that I'm going to show you, if you are working on a laptop, this is how this is going to work. If this will only work if you are operating Canva from a laptop. And by the way, my best recommendation every time is if you are using Canva, the best way to use Canva is to use it in the web rather than the desktop. I have found over time that the desktop app still has some limited features. And I think there are some features that are present in the desktop app that are not available in the web. Well, it all depends on what you're trying to do anyway. But anytime you want to do something, my best recommendation is for you to use the web. But the second like it is the mobile phone. The desktop app just came out, so they will be making quite a couple of changes over time that are currently available in the web. So let me show you some of the things that you can actually begin with. So for example, if you have ever used an advanced software to design, you probably will know something called rulers and grid and all that allows you to divide your work, kind of the artboard, the space that you are working with, so that you can divide it in a way that makes sense. This is how to get that inside Canva. You come to File here, and then you come to Show Rulers, and right now you can see these rulers up here. You can see these rulers up here. And then if you come to File again and you click on Guides, it can bring in guidelines that will kind of help you to align your design. That's very interesting. I just rhymed. And here you can zoom in. So when you are working on Canva, you can always zoom in. You can zoom in, zoom out to see what you are doing. So let me show you one, how to kind of do what they call power clip or masking. You can do that using what is called frames here. And so if you are creating a design, so let's say you are making a design, this is a design, you want to put somebody's face. You want to use somebody's face. This is upload where I have pictures. So let me pick a picture of someone. Okay, let me pick a picture of someone. So you can see right now, this is this picture here, and I can have it this way. Now, this picture here, you can put it anywhere you like. You can do anything you want to do. That's element number one that I'm going to show you. And you can delete everything right here. Second thing that I will also show you is the hidden part of Canva, where you can bring in places to get pictures. So if you want to fetch pictures, maybe you don't like the pictures that you are seeing inside Canva, maybe you've searched pictures here. Now, this is particularly available inside web. I'm not sure of phone or any of those web app yet. So you come to more here and you will see Pixels and you will see Pixabay. Pixabay and Pixels are places where you can download images for free. So rather than go to Pixabay on a separate tab, you can actually access Pixabay from this part here. So you can type. So let's say we want to do, yesterday was International Youth Day. So let's type youth, and then let's look for images that we can use here. Now, if you may observe, the images here right now don't look like youth that I'm looking for. So what do? I come back to this option here, and then I choose pixels. And with pixels, I can type the same youth again and try and search for pictures that I can use. Again, I can't see the picture that I'm looking for. Sometimes you may have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll before you actually find a picture that makes sense, particularly if you are the type that's very, very selective with what you do in your design. So, okay, so if I'm going to be using this design, this picture here rather, if you drag the picture to the artboard, it's going to try and power clip it to your background. This is the first thing. The second thing you can do is you can drop it here like this, and then you can simply bring it out this way. You can bring it out this way. And now your background is kind of white, right? So how do you fill up that background? You can simply go to elements and then come back here to shape, and you can draw this here and simply select color. Canva does something very interesting. Canva tries to automatically fetch the colors from the image on your workspace by itself. So you can select this yellow, and then it automatically helps you balance that background. Now at this point, you can click on position, which is referred to as layers in some advanced softwares that you can send to back. And you can see right here, this shadow here is now available here. Now, if you're on a pro account, however, if you're on a pro account, one of the good things you can also do here is you can actually remove the background of this image right inside Canva. So you can scroll down here and click on more, and particularly click on this here. If you don't get to see it there, you can come to adjust, or maybe filter, or maybe effects. One of them is going to show you background remover. Okay, it's under background remover here, and you can click background remover. It's going to try and remove the background for you automatically. Once it's done, you will see on your screen, you will see that that place will turn to white since I didn't add a background to it initially. So let's wait for that. And as it loads, you'll see it right now. Sometimes this can be fast, sometimes it can be slow. Well, I think it depends on the image as well as the maybe your network. I think those are the factors that make it work faster or make it work slower.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Please, sir, you're going too fast, sir. I can't actually follow you. I don't know.
Okay.
Please, sir.
Your name, please, so that I know who's speaking.
Akinlawan John. I think I'm see.
Okay.
John. Yes, sir.
Did you miss out anywhere?
Sir, my name is John.
What is it? Okay, John, please.
Yes, sir. From the area of pixels. From the area of
I think you should speak
pixels,
one after the other. From the area of pixels. Okay, good. So I'm going to go back there. The second person is trying to speak. What did you try to say?
Lost because I'm using a phone. I can't
no need to worry. I'm going to still do from phone. Like I mentioned, some things are not doable on phone. They are more easy to maneuver on laptop. But of course, I'm going to show you some things that I do as well on phone. In fact, removing background, there's a day I will cover how to remove background like this. Particularly that day, you will understand how the different tools that you can actually use to remove background. So I'm just showing you this here right now. So if this is what you want to design, you can see right now that I've already eliminated the background, right? So I can put this here, and I can write any text I want to write. And by the way, you can always flip this image. So if you want to flip it horizontally this way, so you can always flip it. You can always flip that. Now, for the person who said they did not get pixels, okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
My name is Joel Jacob. In fact, as if you are moving too fast. I've not gotten anything. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to slow down. And also remember that this is being recorded. So in case you miss anything, you can always fall back to the recording, okay? So going back.
Something. Sorry to interrupt you. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I don't know who's speaking. Is that Blessing Nakun, right? Oh, okay.
All right, sir. So, because of the mouse is very tiny, so the possibility of seeing where your mouse is at a time may not be very easy. So, you can say things like if you check the top left, the top right, as you move your mouse, so that we can follow the mouse, and that may be really helpful for us.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So for the person who mentioned that you couldn't get because I was going too fast, now let me slow down now and then repeat some of the things I have mentioned so far. So I started off by saying that if you come to this more option here on Canva, particularly on web, you can click on this more option and then you will see pixels here and then you will see Pixabay. It will not be automatically added here, but as soon as you click on more and then you add it, you can easily access it from this side of your screen. When you are done, you can close it off and you can send it back to where it came from. So when you are done, you can click this right side of your screen here so that you can close it off. Do you get that? Now, let me get into the real business here. So, I saw somebody's video the other time. Blessing, you may want to turn off your video so that your internet is not pulled too much. So Blessing, turn off your video so that, so let me show you what I will like to really show you today. So let's say I'm starting a design from scratch. So let me create a new design. And then let's say I want to create a design for Instagram post. So here I want to here let me show you a now. Of course, you can if you are designing, some of the things you can do when you're designing. At this point, I hope I'm not going too fast again. Am I going too fast?
You have
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah, I shall do that Lola here, sir. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning.
For me, the video is still like a little bit fast. Your audio is on point. It's just the video. You would have spoken well ahead before I get to
now
see
I
the video. That's exactly what is happening. I don't know, maybe it's the network on your side because I have disabled everything on my. I had to stop using my laptop because I thought maybe it was my laptop. I had to switch to my phone, but still, my phone is still doing the same thing.
I think I get you now. So I'm speaking faster than my screen is moving.
Exactly. Yes. So I can hear I can hear your voice clearly, but the video itself, everything comes like a little bit after. So it's like it's both. I don't even know what to call it, but that's what's happening. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. Now again, everybody mute yourself. Okay, who wants me to excuse him? Okay, so now I can excuse you. Go on.
You are using this laptop and we are using phone. At least you should be explaining both the laptop and the phone together so we can be carried along.
Thank you for that suggestion. If you had paid attention well enough, you would have heard me say that I'm going to show you some things from laptop and then I'm going to jump to my phone. I made that clear when I started off. So you probably are not listening well. So that answers your question. Thank you very much. Mute yourself.
There's nobody in this class that's supposed to not have a laptop, because while you were applying, you signified you had a laptop. If you didn't have a laptop, you're not going to this class. So that's not really something to bother about. So the focus mainly should be the laptop. So it's just an added advantage that you can do design on your phone, easy and very nice design. So it's not like it's the main focus. It's only something that is added. All right.
Thank you for clarifying that. So let's move forward here. I'm going to try and create a design from scratch here. So I'm going to show you how I create designs from the barest element, that is, which is the white space. So let me hear, what design can I create right now? What design can I create right now? What can I create design for? Micah, please suggest something to me right now. It's only Micah that says you mute himself. Or Micah, please suggest something to me right now. What can I create a design for? I'm waiting for Micah.
Okay, so I'm here.
Yes, please go on.
I'm here. So we want to create some traction for International Youth Day. So I know this week is Youth Week, so we can still do something for International Youth Week today.
Great. So let's then create a design for International Youth Week, and let me show you some of the ways that I use Canva. So first off, let me type my text. By nature, I always like to type my text outside of Canva. Main reason why is Canva does not have any elements for you to know whether your text is written correctly or spelled wrongly. Canva does not have that feature right now. So when I type, maybe I type inside Microsoft Word, or maybe I type inside a different software, sometimes it helps me see what I am typing. International Youth Week. So let me type it this way. Let me say celebrating International Youth Week. Now I've copied my text. Now I can bring in my text. You can come to this side of your screen and click add the heading, add a subheading, or add a little bit of body text. I most likely will always use add the heading. So now I'm going to select everything here. I'm going to right click and then I'm going to paste. This is celebrating International Youth Week. Now, one of the things I do when I'm working with a design like this is I try to cut this text, I try to break it into multiple elements. By breaking it into multiple elements, that allow me, or that a lot of times allows me to kind of maneuver and kind of tweak, kind of rearrange, do a lot of things that I may not be able to do with just all the bunch of text in one place like this. So let me do that right now. So in order to do that, what I will do is I'll select the text. Now, one of the things that I've observed with Canva is if you want to select things, the best way to do that will be to first of all click outside of your space, outside of your design space, then select the object. Then you can now do anything you want to do with it. If you have it still selected, sometimes you may not know that it's just a part of the text or a part of, particularly the text. A part of the text may just be open to change, and the others will just be there looking at you. So let me duplicate. You can come to this side of your screen where you have download. Underneath this download, you see duplicate. You probably already know this. So I'm going to duplicate it twice. Duplicate one, duplicate two. So I'm going to move this top duplicate. I'm going to move it down here. So I'm going to delete international and then youth week. So I have just celebrating right now. And then for this, I'm going to delete celebrating and I'm going to delete youth week. So I have just international for this one. And then for this, I'm going to delete celebrating and international. And the only thing I'm going to have will be just Youth Week. So now let me move this down here, and then let me widen this part so that the text can be on one line. At this point, I may not have selected a font type yet, because I always like to wait till I see my image before I now begin to do any designs I want to make. So let me then go and get image for this Celebrating International Youth Week. So from what you've learned so far, what kind of image should I be using for this kind of design that I want to create? What kind of image should I be looking for? Who can
Sim
give
Odije.
me?
My name is Odije Osimen.
Great.
Youth picture.
Youth picture. What should be in the youth picture? What kind of image should it have?
Celebrating themselves, or probably youth and being engaged, doing something great, like a group of youths together.
Okay, good. Thank you for that. Somebody else wanted to say something earlier on.
Sir.
Do you see?
Sir.
Okay, go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please, can we use? I want to suggest that we use maybe like a cartoon image instead of picture. Maybe like maybe a vector image or something.
Okay, who's suggesting? Who's making that suggestion?
Sir, hello?
Is that Milola?
Okay.
Hello?
Daniela, thank you.
Hello,
Go
sir.
on, Damilola.
Okay, yes. So I was just going to suggest that we use a picture that has like a group of youths. It could be real time and it could be cartoon too. But as long as it depicts a group of young people. That's all.
Okay, thank you. And at this point, everybody, you can mute yourself. Nobody should say anything again. So let's now search for a group of youth. I'm going to start first with the Canva library. So I'm going to type group of youths and see if I can find a picture like that. Amazing. So there are pictures here. There are pictures here. Now, another thing I always pay attention to when I'm designing is if I'm designing for a Nigerian audience or an African audience, I particularly don't always use non-Nigerian audience. And I do that for a couple of reasons. Let me show you some designs here. Please, can you see my screen at this point? Can you see my screen at this point? Can you see my screen at this point? Okay, good.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So let me make it bigger. Let me make it bigger. Now look at this design here. Look at this picture here. This design, can you see this pop up right now?
Yes, you can.
What can you see that popped up on the screen?
Images of.
Can you see a pop up on the screen like a single picture popping up on the screen? Can you see that?
Yes. Yes, we can see that.
Okay. As the picture changed now.
How to grow your
No, you haven't.
No, not yet.
Yes,
Yes, it has changed. The picture has changed.
Okay, good. I just wanted to confirm that you can see this side. Now you can mute yourself. Thank you very much for that feedback. Now, this design, this is a vector type of design. This is a different type of design. You can see that they are still, all the pictures are still the same kind of image. They are still for the same end product. This particular design here, this was going to, okay, this is in case you are trying to understand what's happening. This is a Facebook ad image. This is for an African audience. This is not for an African audience. You get it now? This is not for an African audience. This is a generic one. So the way I did it is if I'm designing for African audience, I use somebody they can easily relate with. So you see this one here as well. And then you see this. And then you see this. And then you see this. As well as this one. This is a different kind of design. All of these designs are basically Facebook adverts. Now let me go to a different design that you may that may be let me see if I can show you one here. Okay, let me leave that. Let's move on from there. I wanted to show you a picture that I did, a design that I did that I had to use because the audience was primarily Nigerian. I had to use an African face or a face of a black. But you understand what I'm trying to say. If you are designing for a Nigerian audience, if you are designing for an African audience, so to say, it's going to be out of place to be using whitish, and I'm not being racist, so don't think I'm being racist right now. It's just you are speaking to a particular audience, you need to use an image or a kind of audience that they can relate with, a kind of picture that they can relate with. I'm looking for a particular design that I did that I initially made that I didn't use an African. Okay, look at this design here. It's going to open up now. Okay, so this is the design here. Look at this picture here. Do you observe what the image in the picture compared with this, then compared with this? It's the same design, is for the same purpose, but different audiences, or not really different audiences, different images are used for each of these design. So I hope that is clear enough for you to understand. So in this case now, I'm going to look for, so I'm celebrating International Youth Day. Let me now go and get image for youth that I can use. I'm doing a lot of rhymes today. That's very interesting. Images of youth that I can use. I think young Gaya who can be writing those rhymes down so that we can use it at a later time.
Please, can I ask a question?
Yes, please, go ahead. Aside from the person asking question, please others should mute their mics. I can hear several sounds in the background. So please go on with your question.
In my group of youths, all of them has crown. It's like you have subscribed. Me, I have not subscribed. All of my own have crown.
Oh, okay. I am supposed to have made that disclaimer. I'm currently when did I even subscribe? When did I upgrade my account? I think that must have been maybe like it's less than 72 hours ago that I actually upgraded my account, and I upgraded it specifically for this class so that I can show you some things that are available in Pro and not available in free account. That's basically the reason why I upgraded. So in case you are seeing these images right now, it means I can't use this image for you because you will not be seeing it in the free account. So that's the reason why you should look for alternative. So in order to look for alternative, then what can you do? Like I showed you earlier on, you can come to more here, and then you can choose Pixels or Pixabay. Of course, all the pictures you'll find of Pixabay, all of them are completely free. All the pictures you'll find of Pixels, all of them are completely free. So you're not paying any money for those. So in this case now, I'm going to type group of youths here on Pixabay. Okay, I'm using Pixels right now. So we say group of youths that are showing us children. So let's see. Let's keep scrolling. Let's keep scrolling. I would have used the picture of Buddhist monks because that's the youth I'm seeing here.
You can use just youth, please. Just youth.
I can use just youth.
Yes, you see like a group of people. Or it's just-
Actually, what I've observed is when I type youth, it only just brings picture of one person. That's what I've been observing. Okay, now look at this picture here. It doesn't show youth, but I like the fact that this is celebration. So let me bring it to the artboard so that you can see that. So look at this is a picture that shows celebrating, but it's not that of youth. So let me keep scrolling till I can find. Let me see. I think I like this. I think I like this. This is a lot cooler. So let me delete this. Then, if I'm going to use this image here for my design, now already you observe that there's a lady by this side that is standing up. There's a lady that is sitting down looking us straight, and there's also another person here. Now, one thing that I've also learned with Canva is I can, let me see if I can, okay, it's taking me to a different place. Okay, maybe because if I right click, it's working here. Oh, it's not working here. Okay, so based on what I'm looking at right now, it says black confident sports women wearing team uniform. So I can write black. I can use such keywords to find similar images to this lady. Sometimes in all of these pictures, this lady is still available in maybe 3, 4, 5 places. But if you use the right keyword, you'll be able to find her. So this image here told me that black confident sports women. So let me use black confident. Let me just type black confident alone. Can you see the picture now? Can you see that now I'm seeing different black pictures that I couldn't find when I was searching for youths? Now, this is a better picture here. This is a better picture here, except for those who may be biased. So I can hide this picture away. How do I hide it away? Rather than delete it, I can just come to transparency here and simply just make it transparent 0, so that when I'm ready to use it, I can come back and pick it up. And if you did not get what I just did now, let me undo so that I can show you what I did just now. After bringing in this picture, I said I can select this picture here. I want to hide it on my artboard while it's still there, but I want to then go ahead and do something else. I want to work with another picture. So till I'm ready to use it, I can just make it transparent so that it's just there. It's not obstructing anything. And then I can bring this picture up. If you see, you will see that this guy is the same thing as this guy here in this picture. This guy here is the same thing as this guy here. And if I keep scrolling, I might find other alternatives that may be more appealing than this guy. But for now, let me just stick with this guy, and then let me try and use just the image of this guy here right now. So now, one of the first things I'm going to do is I can enlarge it, make it wide like this. Of course, because the guy is at the center, I can move him to a side and then make it a little bit bigger still, and then move him up a little still. Now, at this point, I need to select font. So first off, if I'm celebrating as a word can be fun, right? So let me go and get a fun font. Now, let me mention here that there are almost all fonts available either online, on your laptop, everywhere, can basically be categorized into 3 boxes. First type is what I refer to as sans type of fonts. Sans type of fonts, and when I say sans, I mean S-A-N-S. Sans type of font are fonts like these, this particular type right now that I just selected that have edges. So you can see edges around this A here, you can see edges, around this T, you can see edges. Those are fonts that are called sans fonts. Second type of font are fonts that I refer to as serif. Oh, sorry, I mean serif. Serif type of font is this font here. This is sans here. This type, sans font, okay, let me repeat myself. Serif fonts have edges. Sans fonts don't have edges. And the third category, I'm going to use a similar S, that is script. And what script means is it looks like handwriting. So all fonts that you will find, whether online, whether offline, every font can be boxed into those 3 categories. So whether it is Times New Roman, whether it is Cambria, whether it is Merriweather, whether it is Trajan, whatever name of font you want to mention, as long as it has edges like this, they are referred to as serif fonts. And then if the font does not have any edge, it's called a sans. Sans simply means sans serif in full. Sans means without. Serif means edges. Sans means without. So sans serif means without edges. So when I say sans, I'm referring to the fact that they don't have edges. And the third type is script. They are fonts that have scripts. So let me use a font like this. Celebrating, it doesn't look cool. So let me look for a font that is, okay, cool. This one looks good. So so in this case now, what I am observing, who notices what I'm observing here?
Someone, please excuse me.
Yes, please.
All right, so everybody please listen. Attendance has been posted on the chat room. Please, if you can't see it, you can reach out to the class reps. Please, all the class reps, make sure you get the attendance, and people that don't have it, please send it to them on Telegram group chat. The attendance will be on for 10 minutes, please.
Okay, so thank you very much, Motrayo, I believe. Thank you very much for that announcement. Please fill in your attendance. Now, while we are doing that,
is only available for premium, so we don't have that font. It's premium for
the name of this
celebrating.
font, right?
Yes,
yes. You may not need to disturb yourself. Actually, when you are scrolling through, you will see some other script fonts that are available. Now, when you are selecting script, so that I can guide you now, when you are selecting scripts, some of the things that you can do is you want to look at it. Is it readable? Do you understand now? Is it clear? Is it visible? Is it readable? So you'll notice that I went with this celebrating. I didn't go with the previous script type of font that I used earlier on. So as you are selecting, as you are scrolling, you actually see on my phone, by the time I move to my phone, I'm going to scroll through some of those fonts as well to also show you, okay? So thank you for mentioning that. So at this point now, let me now retype this celebrating. Can you see that it makes more sense this way than as capital letter? So with this now, I can now change this international text here. So I'm going to move this away a little. This international here, let me now pick a font for that. Now, I'm celebrating International Youth Day. So that means the font doesn't have to be really, really serious. It can be a little bit of fun. Some of the fonts that are found that look very appealing on Canva, and you may want to write them down. Glacial Indifference, League, Gothic, Bebas, Oswald, Montserrat. I'm going to repeat those names again so that you can write them down. They are fonts that look very interesting and they are completely free on Canva. So I said Glacial Indifference, Montserrat, Oswald.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry to interrupt. Not many people.
Your name?
Please.
Okay. What happened to your audio? It's different now.
I'm wondering, like it took some time for you to even hear me. Can you hear me now? Is it okay
yes,
now?
I can. Yes,
okay.
Go on.
Okay, so a lot of people won't be able to follow now because there's going to be a mad rush to fill the attendance before it is taken off.
Yes, yes. So the good part of that will be that there are two options. There are two things involved. I can pause or I can continue and they will watch the video. Which of them are you guys going to select right now?
I'd appreciate that you pause.
Okay, so I'm going to,
please pause.
I'm going to set a timer. You have just 5 minutes to do that. So I'm going to type 5-minute timer on the screen right now.
Also,
yes,
sir,
please.
I think this is to the admin. The Google form that they posted today, all the feeds are actually required. Whereas there are options where some people might not be able to fill. Yes, people who
Yes.
have never
Exactly.
traveled
Never
I
wouldn't
traveled
just
to
I
feel
just
that.
Germany.
picked
I just picked
me, I just
vacation. I
picked
wrote
it.
no
All
to
of you that are
Germany and
still
I
Me
picked
too.
talking, all
vacation.
of you that are still talking, you have just 4 minutes. You can see time on the screen right
No,
now. Once
no.
it's 5
I think some
minutes,
of us
I'll
that are
just
talking
continue.
are filled.
Can you
Okay.
allow me? I was about to say that those places that are required, admin. And Mr. can you please help us with that required so that we can fill the form appropriately? Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm going to
Okay.
mute myself.
Sorry, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello? Yes,
Hello,
please.
go on.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused. I'm sorry for dragging us back. Where exactly is the attendance form being posted? Because I understand it's not on the group chat and I really do not want to miss signing the form. So
It's
I
on the
understand
chat.
Check at the top right. Check at the top right of your chat room. The top
Chat
right.
room with the
You will see
Microsoft team. You will see there.
you will see a message sign with a dot, a red dot on it. Just click on it and check through. Scroll
They
through
said
the
it's
chat box.
not showing. It's not showing. It's not showing for some people. It's showing for
The
me.
what?
I can't tell anything. So it's
oh
not
my,
showing
oh
yet.
my God.
Not showing.
Messages have engulfed
I can't
the
find it. I
attendance.
can't see
You
it.
scroll through.
The chat
You
box is
scroll.
not
You
showing at
scroll.
all. The chat it is not showing at all.
I
Can't you
actually
get me? The
can't see
chat
the
box is not
chat
showing at
box.
all. So the class rep you send it to us privately. Don't you get? There's no chat box in the Teams at all.
Yes,
Okay,
please,
signify.
Sorry, I can't
I
find it.
sent you a message.
I can't find the chat box. I've sent the message to the class rep and he's not responding. So you should send it to those that cannot see it.
Hello, instructor.
Hello, we can't find the attendance sheet here. The attendance link.
Mr. Dapo.
I'm sending the attendance link on Instagram, on Telegram now. Please, all of you that sent me private messages, expect it now. I'm sending it to you directly on Telegram right away. Thank you.
Sorry, I don't know your handle on Telegram. Sorry.
Okay, I'll drop a comment now so that you can see my handle and send me a message. I'll just.
All right, sir. All right, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Dayo, please excuse me. So I just checked the attendance and there's nothing wrong with the attendance. So yes, everything is a compulsory question. Have you ever been to Germany? You can simply just pick no if you've never been there.
What about the rest that
But then you are not getting it. Hello. If you pick no, the next
pick
question
no
will
and you
not.
still have to
The
pick
next question
vacation
you
or
have to
work.
pick a vacation, work, or medical on the other
Exactly.
part.
So I
When
just pick
the
anything.
forms usually fill. When you pick no, the other part is left
You'll
blank
be
and
able
you
to
can
skip
submit
it.
the form. Yes, but right now, even if
But
you
now they
click
are
no,
required.
you can't submit the form.
Well,
It
we
is
can
required.
still
So
feel it like that. Once you pick no, we can still feel it like that. Let's move on. Once you pick no, it resolves that.
Excuse me, I already have people who have filled the form.
I have filled the form as well.
I picked no.
We just picked anything.
In Germany, that was what I did. So and it went. If you don't pick any, it won't go.
I already have 47 people who have filled the form, so there's nothing wrong with the form actually.
You are not getting us. You are not getting us. There's nothing wrong with the form. What we are saying is, when you pick Germany, no. The next question you have to pick a corresponding answer to be able to submit the form. You can't leave it blank like we leave the other forms before.
And just
That's
pick
what
a
I'm saying.
random.
That's what we're saying.
Isn't it your page that we can just use our common sense to do this thing now. We can use our common sense. We shouldn't be disrupting this class. We can use our common sense to do this thing.
We are all saying the same thing. We are all saying the same thing.
Those that will access our page, we know the reason for us picking other things. We should just do this thing for once
They
and
might not
get
know.
along with
That's
this
why we are
class.
saying it.
Please, there's nothing like
So
common
your
sense.
5
It's
minutes
best
is
to air
up.
your view. There's nothing like common sense, please.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir, we
Yes,
can
sir.
hear
So,
you.
so I can
Yes,
see
sir.
that question where we have you ever been to other countries? You have yes or no. If you pick no, which countries? The next question is not a required question. Like it's not compulsory. We leave it empty. It's not going to stop you from submitting. The only thing that could stop you is if you are not answering any other question apart from that one. So you could just leave it empty if you've not visited any other country. All
Hello?
right.
Hello, sir. Is the
Yes.
question before that? It's not that
Mr.
question. The
Michael,
question
Mr.
before that.
Michael, he did though. He did though. It's not like
Is the
that, sir. He
question
did.
before
He
that?
stopped us.
The
If
So,
you
sir,
did not
there's a
fill all those required, all those red stars,
What
it will
question?
never allow you
What
to
question
submit, sir.
What question are you talking about?
After,
Is it the
after
one
have
Have
you
you
that
been?
been,
Have
says
you
after
been
have
to
you been to
Germany?
Germany?
Have you been
Have
to
you been to
Germany?
Germany? If you pick no,
No.
no.
and you go to the next question,
Next
you
one.
have to answer
What
it. If you
What's your
don't,
reason of going to
it won't allow
Germany?
you submit.
Of Germany.
Vacation and all
Exactly.
that.
So they were all
If you
marked
don't
as a
answer it, you won't
required field.
submit.
Yes.
All
so
the
okay.
Yes.
options were
What you
required.
listen to me, please. You know what you do is refresh the page and try again. The only thing that will not let you submit that form is if you're not filling any other question. So make sure that you're filling all the questions. That's all right.
So here's the problem. That question that have you ever been to Germany, the Empire forms to
Okay.
this year. When you pick no, the next question that says for what reason, you don't have to answer it. It's not compulsory, right? So I mean, but this one for this new attendance, when you answer no, you're still required to pick reason for visit to Germany. And I mean, we've never been to Germany, so there's no need to pick reason for visit to Germany. So I guess that's what
It
we're
has
all
been
talking about. That
corrected, please.
Okay,
okay,
so
thank you.
refresh the page. Refresh the
It
page.
has been
Okay.
corrected. I just checked the
How
form
about
down,
those that
please.
have already submitted?
We can
I think
still
you'll
feel
have
it.
to go back to
We
it
can still
again.
feel it
Don't
like
worry.
that.
Don't worry.
You can put
If
school or
you've not
anything. Those that are
submitted,
assessing it will understand the situation of things.
if you've submitted, don't worry. If you've submitted, don't worry. Let's continue with the class right now. Mr. Dayo, please continue.
So, yes, please. Let's continue so that we can get on break, because I'm trying to finish up the desktop version before break so that we can resume the mobile version after break. Okay? So please, if you're not speaking, mute
Mr.
yourself.
Dayo,
And if you
sorry,
cannot mute
please, I
yourself,
have a
I'm going to
question.
mute you.
Mr. Dayo, please, I have a question.
Okay, please go on. Your name is mute yourself or mute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Okay. That's Temidara, right?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So for
Yes,
the
please.
celebrating, I chose Aliora, but then I'm trying to mix the cases because you were able to do uppercase and lowercase for the this thing. So I clicked on the alphabet at the top where the font and the size is. Well, mine is not changing the cases. So I don't
Okay,
know if
good.
there's
So let me start sharing the screen again, and then you will see where that went wrong. Okay. So earlier on, this was in capital letter, and in fact, when I typed originally, I typed in capital letters. So when you type in capital letters and you come inside Canva and then you want to make small letter, capital letter, it will not respond. That is the reason why it's not responding. So what I did then was, while I was here on the screen, I selected this and then retyped everything. So I retyped the celebrating. I only left the C as capital letter. So the way it is right now, I can now select and make it capital letter or small letter. It will work. But when you type everything in capital letters, it may not work. Okay. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Good. If it were to be your phone now, of course, clicking shift on your phone will automatically change it from capital letters to small letters. But here, it's not doing that yet. So by the time we get to phone, I'm going to show you that dynamic. And I hope I don't forget the part of beautification in design. So now let me continue selecting the fonts here. So now select the font for these international. So I mentioned a couple of fonts earlier on. I said, if you're designing on Canva, some fonts that you can use easily that will make your work look very professional are fonts like, I mentioned Glacial Indifference, I mentioned Montserrat, I mentioned Bebas, I mentioned Oswald. I also mentioned, what's the other font? I can't remember the name right now, but there's also one Heva or Hava or something like that. Let me try and type right now. Maybe Hava or Eva. So I don't remember the name right now, but there's one age font like that that looks very interesting to the eyes. It's something that you should also. Anyway, by the way, I'm just suggesting those. As you start your own design, you will have preferences, okay? You will begin to have your own preferences for the kind of fonts you want to use inside your design. Now, I'm not sure if this has been mentioned before when we covered the typography. In your design, your font, your picture is 50% of your design. Your font is like 30% of the design. Colors are just the silent part that communicates some messages that you may not be paying attention to in a design. So for this design, I'm going to use this Avena. This Avena, you may not find it inside Canva. I actually uploaded it. So I have to be, that's a disclaimer there. Okay, let me not use a font that I uploaded. So let me use a non-related font. So this is Montserrat here. So this is Montserrat here. Now this is Montserrat. I can make it bolder. And then it becomes bold. Why is it not responding? Why is it not responding? Or is it still loading? Somebody said something. Leaks pattern is also another font that is good as well. So now that's international there. Then this youth week, let me change it as well to that leaks pattern. Now I'm going to bring this down here. I'm going to place it directly above this. Then this youth week looks small, so I can increase the size. Of course, you can always drag from the side to increase the size on Canva, just as with any other software. Now, from here now, this down part is just blank there. Nothing is happening. So what can we do to that part? First thing that you can do is you can come to background here on the right side. You can come to background and then you can place a background behind this image. Now, for my own purpose, I'm not going to be using a particular background. I'm going to be using a plain color background, and I want to use the color from this image. So in order to fetch that color, let me bring in elements, and then let me draw a shape. So I'm using a rectangle. I'm going to put it here, make it wide so that I can cut off the screen. And then I'm going to take it down. Remember that what I want to use it for is the background. Again, Canva tries to pull the image, the colors from the image you are using in your design. Canva tries to pull that for you so that you can utilize that in your design. So now I'm going to use this brown. Let me see this brown. Okay, this brown looks cool, but it's still not looking as bright as it should be. So let me brighten it a little. Let me brighten it a little. So now it looks more like it. Now you can come to this other side of your screen here and then click on position. With this position is like layers. So you can layer things upon each other. You can layer elements on top of each other. So now I'm going to click on this position here, and then I'm going to start selecting go to back. You can start selecting forward. If you select forward, it's going to be bringing it forward one after the other. If select backward, it's going to be sending it down one after the other, and that is that for you. Now, this picture still looks uninteresting to the eyes, so how can I beautify this picture here? Now, in order to do that, what I'll simply do is I'm going to scroll down from these elements here. I'm going to scroll down and find a gradient. So I'm going to scroll down and find a gradient square that I can use. So let me click on this recently used. I'll most likely find it there. So this is the gradient here. So this is the gradient here. Now, another thing on Canva is you can always rotate your elements. So I'm going to rotate it by 90%. I'm going to rotate it by 90%. Good. And then I'm going to bring it to the side here, and then I'm going to make it big so that it can cover the entire background. Can you see this now? Now, this color is not as attractive to the eye as I want it to be. But of course, in order for me to know that, I need to use that position again and send it backward as well. So I'm going to click position, then I'm going to start sending it backward one after the other, one after the other. So this is majorly what I'm trying to do, to send it to the back so that I just sit behind the text. Now, let me now change the colors here. So there are two ways to edit the gradient. You can select the gradient from, you can select the purple first, or you can select the white first. If you select the white first, I can make it dark. Can you see that? And then I can select this purple here. I can make it brown as well. But in this case, I want to design something that is on brand. So let me choose red in this case now. Can you see what I've just done? Now, with what I've just done now, somebody wants to say something. If you're not saying anything to me,
Yes,
mute
please.
yourself.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please. I think I missed what you just did, please.
I should repeat what I just did, right?
Yes, the gradients part. Yes, please.
Okay, so let me delete it completely and then start from where I brought it in. Is that
All
okay?
right. Thank you.
The name of this element is called gradient that fades to transparency. So if you type inside here, you type gradient, you can type here, you can type gradient, and you will almost see it there. So this is it right here. So what I did is I'm looking for a gradient that is faded, because that's the idea I have in mind. If I'm using a gradient that's not faded, so let's say I'm using something like this, I could have just put this somewhere, but I'm going to get to that later. So now I'm going to add this gradient that fades. I'm going to add it on my design, and then I'm going to turn it around so you can rotate it to 90 degrees so you can see the measurement by the side of the object itself. Now, what you will then do will be to move it to a position where it can sit comfortably so that it can serve more like a background. Now, I will now increase its size so that it can fill the screen. Right now, it has filled the screen. Are you trying to say something to me?
Can you allow us practice along with you so you give us a bit of time to know if we've been able to catch up with where you are before you continue?
I think if we do that, we'll be living near maybe in the night. Do you get that? What you should do right now is to pay attention close enough so that you can see exactly what I am doing. Then, when we go on break, you can repeat that, because all of you are actually going to submit a task from this session we're having today. Okay, so what you need to do right now is pay attention, watch it very well, pay attention very well. If I miss any part that's not clear to you, you can ask. But if you say I should pause and then you will then design and get to where I am, if all of you don't go at the same pace, it means we'll have to sit down and wait till everybody finishes. And that will be taking us way back. Do you get my answer?
Please, sir. Hello, sir. Sir, please, sir, can you come back to the brown? Let's go back to that brown background color that you started from before you got to do gradient. Can we take it from there so that we can just, yes, sir.
Now that is way back. So just hold on. I'm going to see if I can go to that. Okay, you say what you want to say. You want to say something?
I wanted to say that if you can just repeat the gradient, I think that's where, just repeat this gradient.
Yeah, the gradients,
Okay.
because that's like
Before the
My
gradient, please. Before the gradient.
my
Before the
point is
gradient,
just to
please.
second
Before the
before the
gradient,
gradient.
please. Please,
Before the
before
Okay,
the
no
gradient, please,
problem.
gradient.
sir.
Please, that
From
brown
everything that you
background.
have said now, it's just brown background and gradient I'm repeating. So everybody
Yes, sir.
mute yourself and then I will repeat that. If you are unmuted, you are wrong. So I'm going to delete the background now. I'm going to delete them both, and then I'm going to try and repeat this entire thing. Now, pay attention. This is the last time I'm going to be going back. I'm not going to be going back any moment after now. So I said, in order for you to, after you've brought in your picture and you have positioned your picture how you want it to look, the next best thing you can do is to put a background in this white space here, to put a background here. In order to put a background, what you need to do is to come to shapes, to elements, and then you just pick on shape and you click on this rectangle. The shape will come into your design. Then you drag the shape high. Who is that? Okay.
Go ahead,
So,
please.
okay, thank you. So now I'm going to expand the width of that shape. And then this shape here, I want it to be background, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this position here. And then I'm going to start selecting either backward or I click to back. If you click to back, it sends to the back of the design. If you click backward, it goes down one layer at a time. So pay attention to what's on the screen here now. I'm going to click backward. Can you see that? I'm going to click backward. If I click forward, you can see that it's coming up one after the other, right? So if I click backward, 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 backward. So now the image, this shape rather, has now stayed behind the image. If you're asking a question that wants to take us back, I'm not going to honor that question, okay? Since you are going to still watch the video so that we can cover the things we need to cover today. But go on and mute yourself. So now that I've put this color here, if I want to use this brown that is here in this design, how can I do that? I then come to this color up here. Canva is going to try by itself to automatically fetch the colors from any picture you have on your design, any picture you have on your space. Canva is going to try to automatically fetch the colors for you. So now, in this particular instance, this is the color down here. I can use this dark gray
Physical
here.
properties of entrepreneur. So that's a footing.
Properties of entrepreneur, I don't understand. Am I not hearing you clearly? Are you asking me a question or what? Okay, I'm going to continue. So now I can use this dark color here. This dark color here seems to be interesting right now. If you are not asking a question, okay, thank you. Thank you. So now I've put that background there. Now I want to now make this background, this edge here is too sharp. So I want to blend it together. That's the reason why I'm bringing a gradient. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type gradient here. I'm going to type gradient in the elements. And then I'm going to pick on this gradient that is faded. This gradient that is faded allows me, unlike this one here, this one I can't fade anything. The gradient that is faded allows blending to happen. So with this gradient here now, what I want to do is I want to rotate. So you will then rotate it 90 degrees. Well, depending on the direction of your own, how should I say now? Depending on the direction of your own, how you want to fade colors. If you want to fade it downward, you can actually flip it vertical. You can flip it horizontal rather. So it now becomes more like it is at the top. But in this case, I'm using it downward. So I'm going to flip it horizontal back. I'm just mute yourself. So now I'm going to enlarge this gradient. I'm going to make it fill up the screen. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Please. Okay, thank you for muting yourself. Thank you very much. So now I've put this image, these gradients here now. Can you see this? Is the gradient here now. It's covering the entire space that I have. What I'm going to do is similar to what I did to the original background that I used, that brown one. So I'm going to come to position, and then I'm going to start sending it backward, one after the other. So now this is where I'm going to stop sending it because I just want it to blend. I just want it to be at the background. Now, this is white up here. I can change it to any color I like. So I can change it to maybe red, and then I can change this purple here. I can change it to, let's say, the dark color from that background. Now you can see it looks a little blended. Now, if it's still not as blended, if these edges are still showing, can you try moving it up a little like this? Can you see something now? You can move it up a little, you can move it down a little. I'm still hearing myself. Somebody is letting me hear myself. That's becoming very interesting. So you can also enlarge, you can reduce, you can do all those adjustments that you like to do. I'm hearing myself and I'm hearing somebody's voice. So mute yourself right now. Now, this edge is still sharp. So how do we blend that? Maybe let's try something. Let's try to duplicate that. Can you see now that it looks more blended? At this point, I can choose transparency and then I can adjust the transparency. I can adjust the transparency to, let's say, 75. But of course, the image is now hidden. So I'm going to delete that. But this is what I'm going to do to let it work. So now this text here, I'm going to now add colors to this text. So first thing I'm going to do is, where is white? This is white here, celebrating. And then I'm going to select Youth, International Youth Day, International, and then I'm going to add white as well. And then I'm going to select Youth, I'm going to add white as well. Now it looks monotonous. So what can I do? I can select this international and then introduce a different color. So what kind of color will go with this background? Most likely a yellow will be good. So I can simply just type yellow here. I can simply just type yellow up here. You can simply just type a yellow up here. And then the colors are now looking balanced. Now, I can also, and here I'm going to beam the light on you right now. You can also select your elements, like you can hold down Shift and select your elements. If you hold down Shift and select your elements, you can choose this position, or you can choose group. You can group them together, or you can ungroup them. Now, what I want to do here is I want to choose position, and then I want to centralize. So you can center to middle, you can center to top, you can center to bottom, you can center right. So I want to choose center right now. And then I want to check my alignment to see if my alignment is okay. Now, with it being here, I can select the celebrating again, and then I can move it downwards here. So now with it being there, I can now have, let me introduce a logo. So at this point, if I'm going to introduce a logo, the logo will most likely need to be in white or maybe a yellow if it's going to show in that background. Now, again, this is where to upload your files. My recommendation is anytime you are working with logos, it's best to use a transparent PNG logo. A transparent PNG logo allows you to maneuver, allows you to walk around things. If you're not going to be speaking to me, mute your mic. If you're not going to be speaking to me, mute yourself. Mutayo, Latayo, Ogumbowale, this should be your last warning. Latayo, Ogumbowale, this is going to be your last warning. Ayomide, raise your hand, please. Go ahead and speak.
Just before you go ahead, I am trying to select the text to change my color. I'm really sorry for dragging you a little bit, but whenever I click on the text, it clicks on like the entire design. So I'm finding it really hard to follow you because I'm struggling with clicking the text, even though I got the logo
Okay.
parts. But I just before you go further, thank you very much, sir.
Okay. I'll ask question here. The text, how did you add the text? You picked a bunch of text from the corner, right? And then you added it to your design, right?
Yes, I picked it from the text bar, if that's what it's called. And then
Okay.
I added from the
But it's
add heading, add sub heading.
okay, good. The part you are trying to select particularly is the one that you picked from, that is the bunch, like a bunch of text that you brought into your design, right?
Yes, please.
Now, anytime you are working with a bunch of text that you bring in, let me show you that, because I get that challenge a lot from people. So let's say you bring in something like this to your design. Let's say you bring in something like this to your design. You will not be able to select one part of the text except you double click like this. It's when you double click like this that you'll be able to edit, but you can't make any adjustments. So if you notice, when I was doing mine, I used only add the heading. I didn't use any of this bunch of text here. But in case you have done that like you have done right now, what you then need to do is to select that bunch of text, come to this side of your screen, and then ungroup the bunch of texts. So once you ungroup, you click outside, then you can then begin to select. Can you see now? So do that
Yes,
right now. So do that right now and tell me if it worked or it did not work.
Okay. Oh shit. It's really, I still couldn't get it.
Do you see what I did? Or should I repeat myself again?
Yes, I actually did, sir. When you say
Okay.
bunch of text, do you mean the ones that are in, like the cold, smooth, tasty parts?
Yes, like this bunch of
No,
text. If you pick up any text from this side,
I did
right?
not pick from there. I did not pick from there, sir.
Okay.
I typed it directly from the add heading, add sub heading, and I used only the add heading. I used the three of them are add heading.
Okay, good. Now, if that is what you're experiencing, what you may want to do will be to check the layers. Are your text above? Are your text up, like this position here? Are your text up or they are down? So you need to check that, because for example, if I want to select this background image right now, before I can get to this background image, I will need to, of course, either move all of this around before I can get to this background image, or I will need to change their position, do all of that before I can get to it. So you need to also check that to be sure that you have not kind of layered them in a way that
Oh
is going
yes,
to be difficult
thank you
for you
very
to do
much.
that.
That seems to be the case.
Okay,
I've
very
been able to
good.
do that. Thank you very much.
Very good. Now, if you're on a laptop, moving on, if you're on a laptop, this celebrating here, you can actually add a shadow to it. So you can come to, if you want to add shadow, you can come to effect here, and you can click on shadow here. And then with that, you can change the shadow color. So let me offset, so you can adjust all the difference here. So let me increase the blur. Let me make it blurry so that it's just sitting down there. Then color of the shadow. So you can select the color of the shadow from here. I'm going to use black because I just want it to sit at that background right there. So now the transparency, you can darken it so that it looks bold. You can darken it, you can make it very transparent, but I'm going to make it wider, and then I'm going to reduce the blurring. So right now you can see that that celebrating kind of pops from that international, unlike what it was before, where it was just sitting down on that international. Okay. Now at this
Hello, sir.
point, I'm going to bring in a logo. Okay, please go on.
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. Please,
Yes, please.
what font did you use for that celebrating?
The font is called Benedict. It may not be a free font. I don't know. It may not be a free font, but of course, we need to look through till you
I
find
would
a font
advise
that
to
is.
use Allura. I would advise to use Allura. Allura looks similar to
Okay.
Benedict. Yes, please.
Thank you. Let me scroll to Alora, and by the way, why is it Alora? That's the name of my baby. So where is what is the spelling of Alera? Let me type it. A-L
L-U-R-A.
R-A. Good. So this is the font here. Good. So this is also a good font. So that's Alora. So you can use that. And then at this point, let me bring in a logo. Again, I'm going to mention here, if you are bringing in a logo on a dark background, use a white image. So this time I'm going to drag this here, and then I'm going to reduce this, and then I'm going to move it up here. So this is my design. I can say I started the design from scratch, and I'm able to successfully get it to a point where it looks beautiful.
Excuse me, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Oh, sorry. I'm having a little challenge there.
What is this
I'm
challenge?
100% sure that if I grab this thing on my system, I will do it perfectly. But I'm using phone on this and it's giving me issue. What I've been looking for is that ingredient. Since morning, I've
That
been looking for it.
gradient.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you said the ingredients, and I've said, is it salt or sugar?
Sorry.
It's all right. When we get to the phone, we are going to try and see how we can do something like that as well. Now, another thing you can also do to your design, let me make it even a little bit interesting. So I can add a shape here. I can add a shape here. Now, if you are designing, remember that you want to design to be on brand. So if you want to design to be on brand, it means all the elements you want to use, particularly the colors you want to use, you will need to let them represent the organization you are designing for. So in this case now, this is the shape I want to put behind this. I can simply come to position here and then click center, and then it centralizes it. But you can see that there's a problem somewhere. It means that this international is not centralized. So let me click center for this international. Okay, good. Can you see now? Can you see the difference now? So celebrating, let me click center as well. And then for this youth week, let me click center as well. Good. So now can you see I've created a design from scratch, and for this background, for this red background now, you can see that I'm currently experiencing what that lady was experiencing earlier on. I want to select the picture, I want to select the bar behind the shape, and it's now difficult to create. So what I can do is I can zoom in and then come to this side. I can select this international. So this seems to be disturbing me. So let me find a way to solve it. The only way I can solve it is just to leave it alone. Or last, I can send it to backward, so that I can do what I want to do. Then select this shape and change the color to purple, because that's the main brand color of this organization here. So if I choose this purple here, I can leave it this way, this celebrating. I can bring it back to forward, and then this is it right here. Now, I used brown earlier on. So now I'm designing for this organization. I need to adjust all the colors and everything so that it matches the organization. What do I need to do? I can select the background again, move the background to a side, come to this background here, the way it is, leave it like that, or most likely change it to maybe black or anything I want to change it to. But then I can also leave it and then select this color here, and then this red part here, I can select this purple. That way, the design did not deviate too much from the brown, the original brown, but it still shows the brand color of the organization. And that was how I created this design here. Where's the design? That's how I created. Where's the design? Where's the design again? And that was how I created. I can't even find the quotes again. The quote is hidden somewhere. I can't find it anymore. But that was how I created that design. Now, when we come back, just before we go on break, let me show you another thing that you may want to do. So this particular design here, I'm going to try and edit it. But then let me come back to this celebrating International Youth Day. At this point, let's finalize with this one. Do you think this is a good design? Do you think this design looks cool? Do you think this design communicates what it needs to be communicating? Does it look good? If I didn't tell you that I used Canva to create this design, would you have known that I used Canva? So I would like 2-3 persons to answer at most.
No, sir. I won't know it's Canva you used.
Amazing.
It looks really like
The design looks good, professional.
Very good. Thank you for that. So again, like I told you earlier on, the reason why I'm here in this session is so that I can add some elements to what you have been doing so far. So you can see the what's open. You better mute your mic. If not, I'll just give you one last one, Odige. So
sorry, sir.
This is how to create a design from scratch. Now, let's say you are designing, you probably have heard of something called carousels. So let me show you an example of carousels. Let me show you an example of carousel. So let me open up Instagram here. Let me open up Instagram here and show you how carousels can be designed. So look at all these images that you see here. This was designed on Canva, but designed by somebody who is still learning Canva, who works with us at Audacity to Lead. This was also designed by the same person. This is also designed on Canva. Let me see again. This is also another design. Let me see. But this is the carousel I want you to see. All these two designs are made in Canva, actually. Now, this design here. This is what carousels look like. So you see this picture here. You see that this image starts here. This one starts here. Then it continues on the next slide. Can you see that? And then this text here, you read its text and you see this picture here, and then it continues on the next slide. And then this one starts here, and then you see something like this yellow icon here. It starts and then it continues. And then you can see my picture here, and then my picture continues on the next slide. How did I create this? And for your information, I created this entire design using Canva. I didn't use any software. In fact, the only thing I did was just to bring in images. Everything was done from scratch to the end using Canva. So let me show you how to do that, because in recent time, that has become the kind of post you tend to find a lot on Instagram. So let me show you what I mean by getting. So let's say you are working with an organization. So I should have used hashtag instead. Let me use hashtag instead so that I can see a lot more designs. So I want you to pay attention to this. Now, carousels simply means Canva post that has more than one image. So let's say this one here. Let's look at this here. So sometimes you will see these kind of designs where people are using a set of Instagram posts to teach certain things. So you see this, you see this, you see this. You can do same thing on Canva. And for me, it's become one of my primary tools for doing quick designs. So look at this. I'm looking for English focused designs. What am I saying? So this is Pixel Lab editing. Hopefully this one will be English. So you can create this entire design like this. You can create it inside Canva. In fact, let me show you how to add all these elements here that you can add to your design. So let's say I want to add things like what you just saw now. I can scroll down here to maybe I can come down here. Let's say, let me check shapes. If I can find them in shapes, let me say I check here. So let's say now, if you're designing, what I recommend is don't use certain shapes. Some shapes cannot look good in your design, no matter what you do. I started designing as way back as 2002 when I was still trying to go to school. And between then and now, I can tell you that designs that look great don't have certain fonts, certain shapes. So if you want your design to look really, really good, stick with just rectangle, square, and of course, when I say rectangle, you can adjust rectangle to anything you want to adjust to. Rectangle and circle. Those two shapes, they do you a lot of good almost every time. If you move beyond that, you can start creating things that you will now be feeling like, what kind of design did I just create? So this is not fitting in here. So let me look for something else. Let me go to gradients. Let me go to these. Let's go to these gradients. So let me click on this see all. Now for these gradients, in fact, you can use brush. So this is something like what you saw in that design on Canva, the design you saw just now. So I can have something like this here. I can change the color from that to just white, and then I can change the second color to just white. So that way it maintains the white that I want it to look like. So you can have something like this in your design, and it's just hidden by the corner there, just silent there, not making noise. For the number of circles, you can also bring in something like this, change the color. So you can change the color if you want to. You can change the color if you want to. So for this, I'm going to change the color from here to purple, and then I can bring this to somewhere around here. Or I can even rotate it. I'm going to rotate it so that this circle part can actually show up good. So I can have it like this, and then you simply put it maybe here, maybe here. You can have it something small like that. Do you get what I'm trying to do now? So now let's look at how to create carousels very fast before we jump off working on device on laptop to work on our phones. Because by 11, I'm jumping straight to working on phone. So let's say you want to create carousels. This now becomes unusable. So let me close that. And while waiting for, okay, I thought my phone was ringing. So while waiting for this, I made this in Canva, as you can see, and I actually made this particular design on my phone. I never used a laptop when I was designing it. So I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do there. Let me see. This is a template that I created for. You can see that what I used there is the frame from Canva. While I brought in a background, I created all the text, created all the shape, created all of this up here, and made all of this there. So I made that for mentally aware. Let me now show you how to create carousel. So let's say we want to repeat these guys' carousel. Pixel app editing tips and tricks. And then what's the second? High quality content on your Android mobile phone, graphic design tutorial, and then images and PNGs, free fonts and more. Just join my Telegram channel. Can you see what this guy has done? He has simply just promoted something using just a couple of pictures. You get that? So you can see this picture started here and then it continued here. So let me show you how to create something like that. Okay, see this picture as well. This picture started here and then it continued there. You can see the remaining edge here. So let me show you how to create something like that. So let's say we want to create just 1, 2. So let's just say we want to create just 3-page carousel. How do you do that? From here, I'm going to click on File, and then I'm going to create a new design. Now, the intricacy of creating something like that is that you're not, well, let me show you the simplest way to do it. So let me use this method to create it here. So I'm going to add a new page now. And then if you are using a picture, let's say you're using a picture that has a transparent background. So I'm using a picture that has a transparent background. So I think I should go and bring a picture of myself into these. At least that way I know that there's transparent background there. Okay, so here is a book, my book actually. So you can carry this and then you can move it to the side. So let's say I move it to the side like this. Did you get that? This is the trick. Then what you do is you simply duplicate this page, you select this, and then you simply cut it off to the edge like this. And then you move this, letting it still maintain the same alignment. How do you let it maintain the same alignment? Just hold down Shift inside Canva. So As you are scrolling, if you scroll, this is what you see at the top. So this is what you see on the first page. This is what you see on the second page. So let me do that right now. So let me write something here. So let's say, let me copy this text here. How do you copy the text? Select this, and then select this, select the fonts. So let me select this international first. That's the one that's always difficult to select. So international first, celebrating next, then youth week next. Then you can simply group, or you can simply click on duplicate, and you can scroll to the next page and simply drag everything to the next page. Okay, so there's a mistake there. So as soon as I duplicated that, I should have grouped it together. So let me select International Youth Week, then celebrating, then duplicate it, then group it together, then drag it to the next page. Can you see that? So now I can now reduce this here, and I can create a background. So let me create a background. Let's say I want to use any of these designs here. I can actually use a brush like this. I just need to make it big enough so that it can stand behind the text. So now I can send it backward. Then I need to fill the background with a color. So let me now come to element again, and then I'm going to go to shape. Hope you are still with me. I'll select shape, and then I'll come good. So I can drag this here. You will then go and select your color, choose a color like red. I'm choosing red because that is the color that will most likely blend with the book. So this is the red here. Then this brush here, I can change the color to just, let's say plain white. And then this blue here, change it to plain white. And then you can see that I have that brush there right now. So now this font, I can now move it so that I can stay on that background, and I can change the font to, let's say, red, or let's say, okay, again, you can see what I was saying earlier on, that when you have a bunch of text, only a part of that text is going to be changing. Everything's not going to be changing. Can you see what just happened now? I'm selecting, it's the entire bunch of text that I'm selecting though, but I clicked the color change and only just one font is changing. So what I need to do then is to ungroup and then click outside of the artboard, select your fonts one after the other, and then change the colors. So celebrating international, then select the colors, and then have this way. Now, this celebrating needs to take off the shadow. So go to effect, take off the shadow, and then let's say this is the design here. Now, I need that thing to continue on this page. So if I want to continue this element on this page, what do I do? Somebody tell me what I need to do. Remember that I've already duplicated the picture. So the picture is already available on the next page. So what do I need to do? Somebody suggest to me, how do I bring this background to the next page? Somebody give me a suggestion. Think, come up with a solution. How do I move to the next page now?
Duplicate it and drag, group, and then drag.
Okay, thank you for that.
Duplicate. You group it and duplicate.
Good. Thank you for your answers. That's the correct answer. So all of you clap for yourself. All of you that did not answer, clap for the people that answered. Thank you very much. So what you then do is you select this, then you press down your shift button, and then you select the other elements. Then you can group, and then you duplicate. And in fact, if I have the option, I'll just cut straight. So I'll just cut so that when I get to that page, I won't need to be dragging. I'll just paste. Now that I've pasted, I can now go to position and say send backward. And right now, everything is set. So if you are now scrolling through Instagram, by the time you see this picture, you will see this next. What I've just done is I've just split them into two. So you are seeing the picture continuing. So if I say celebrating International Youth Week, and I said I'm giving away my book for free, something like that. So I can put, so let's say I put here, okay, let me write it here, download, so free download. And then I call it free download. Now, based on the font that I used in that design, in the text, let me use a font that may be similar. That should be Oswald. So let me use Oswald. Yeah, font change, good. So now I can click here and say free download, and I can change the font here to, let's say, yellow. Let's say another shade of red. So something like this. And I can have this here simple like this, or if I want to, I can actually bring in a gradient just as I did earlier on. So I can bring in a gradient as well. So now I can come to gradient here, and then I can select, let's say, circle gradient, let's say circle gradient, let's say circle gradient, or let me use this gradient here. I can simply make this big and simply make this big, and then I choose position, set backward till it gets to the back of that image, and then I can put it like this. So as you're scrolling through Instagram, you see this first, and then you see this next. That way it continues. Now, that is one way to do it. Let me also show you another way that is faster. This time around, I'm going to create a fresh document. So now, remember, I'm creating just a 2-page here, just these 2 pages. Oh, everybody, let's vote. Should we create these 3? Should we create these 3? Just these 3 here. Should we? Before we break?
Yes.
Who else is,
Yes.
who else is voting for yes? Okay, so now
I
I'm going to
concur.
choose. Okay, and thank you for yesing. So now let me teach you the trick to making that happen. If you want to design something like that, this is how that works. Let me open up the one that I just showed you on Instagram now. This is the full design here. So what I just showed you on another timeline I just showed you, that podcast, this is how it is. This is how I created it. So you can see this is it right here. This is everything here inside Canva. All I just did was just to maneuver and walk around. And by the way, I created this how many days ago? Let me duplicate this. I think that should be about 4 days ago. So that's when I created this. Maybe Friday or Saturday. That was when I created this. And everything I used inside this carousel, everything is completely free items. So I didn't even pay for one thing. So maybe because I'm on Pro, you may be thinking, that's why you can use some things. I'm going to try as much as possible to do everything completely from scratch again. Now, again, as I mentioned earlier on, see the font that I'm using, Bibas Nue, and that's the font I just repeated all through the entire design. Now, if I'm going to be creating 3-page carousel, what do I need to do? Let me show you the trick right now. I'm going to be starting a new design from scratch. And in order to make it fit exactly what I need to do, Instagram size, if you open up, if you click on file, if you click on create a new design, you see that this Instagram post here is 180 by 180, 1080 by 1080. Can you see that? Can you see this 1080 by 1080 pixels here?
Yes, please.
Yes, we can.
Okay, very good. Yes. So that means 1080 by 1080 pixels is the size of Instagram post. Thank you. Thank you. You can now mute yourself. Thank you. So now, what you are seeing right now is 1080 by 1080 pixels. And what I want to do is 3 pages. So what you first need to do will be to multiply 1080, that is the width, by 3. Remember again, I said what I usually do is I type out what I want to do before I come inside Canva. And the reason why I type it out is so that I don't get to start typing everything from inside Canva one after the other. So let me type out the image. Let me type out the text I'm going to use here. Answer me. Okay, so rather than use Pixel App, let's call it Canva. Let's call it Canva editing tips and tricks. That's page 1. So let me swipe back to that. So that's page 1, Canva editing tips and tricks. So second one is high quality content on your smartphone. Can you see what I'm already doing?
Than the video.
My voice is way faster than the video. That is probably due to your network, because your voice was also slower than you could be normally talking. So I guess that must have been your this thing. So graphic. So on this page, I need to put graphic design tutorials. Let me write for free. So third page can now be images. By the way, if you think I'm fast, it's because I'm trying to quickly run through these. Images, PNGs, free fonts, and more. So those are the 3 things we want to work on inside Canva. So if I'm going to be doing 3 pages carousel, what I need to do is to come to my calculator and multiply 1080 of one side by 3. So I'm going to simply type 1080 times 3. That equals to what? 3,240. So when I come to this new design, I'm going to choose custom dimension this time around. So I'm not going to use Instagram post. Now, remember when we used Instagram post for this one, we tried to create it by cutting it sideways. In this style that I'm going to show you, you're not going to need to cut. So you are going to use custom dimension. Width is going to be what? This is the width here, 3,240. So 3240. Then height is going to be 1080. That's what we're still going to use since we're going to be posting it on Instagram. So now create a new design. Create new design, and you can see the entire design is now the entire width is now showing up. Now, I need to check the charts. I don't know. I just feel like I should check the charts. So let me check the chart. 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 Okay, nothing is happening. So,
Hello.
hi, who's that? Who is that? Somebody said hello just now.
Hi. Yes, it's Blessing. I have a question.
Okay, please ask your question. Blessing, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. Okay, my question is, if you want to include an icon, maybe an Instagram or Facebook or Twitter icon on your design, is it there in Canva, or you have to download it and bring it?
Yes, it's right inside Canva. In fact, a couple of logos are actually available inside Canva. In fact, let me see if I can type logos here. Okay, logos are not available here, but most logos that you will need, you most likely find them inside Elements. So anyway, as we get to do that, you will see how to bring those in. And I want to try and do this within the next 5 minutes. Okay. So again, please, everybody, just pay attention right now. Don't try to repeat what I am doing. Try and watch this so that you can absorb what I am doing, so that you can now repeat it on your own, rather than waiting till I finish. I think rather than trying to do it along with me, just watch right now, pay attention. I'm going to try to do it as fast as possible. I want this class to go on break within the next 4, 5, 6 minutes. So how do I then break down this page into 3 parts so that I can have everything settled? In order to do that, simply come to Elements and then come to Frames. So what you then need to do is come to Grids rather than Frames, come to Grids, and then select these 3. So what you just do is just click it. You are not going to drag it to your timeline. You just click, it just fills it up for you. Then you come to your guides here. So this is where you now bring in your guides. You can see that the guides are not showing up. So in order for the guides to show up, you first of all need to turn on your rulers. Okay. So you now bring the guide here and then put this is the first one here. So let me zoom in so that I can see that clearly. So this is the first one here. This is the first guide. So this is the first guide here, done here. Second guide, you simply drag it and put it here, right? So those are the two guides you need. You just need those at the center. Now I can delete this frame. So before now, what you may have needed to do will be to be typing in order to be trying to do a lot of calculation in order to find the center. But Canva makes it possible for you to just go straight. So if you are doing 4, this is it right here. That day I did 6. So I just scrolled down and I found 5. This is 5. So if you are doing 6, you still find 6, 6. So depending on the numbers that you are doing, you will always find them here. So that means this is number 1. Let's lay the first foundation, which is, what is the first thing I'm doing? What's the first page? The first page is going to be what? Canva editing tips and tricks. So let me copy this text. I'm going to right click now, copy. I'm right clicking so that you can see what I'm doing on screen. Now I'm going to bring this text in. And at this time, rather than what I was doing before, clicking, if you click, it sends your item, any item you click on this part from your tools here, any item you click, you automatically send it to the center. So for this particular design, in order to avoid overwhelm of having to move things around, what you want to do is you want to be dragging them to the place and particular page where you need them. So if you notice what happened just now, I simply dragged it to where I want to have it. But if I click add the heading, you can see now that he added it underneath. But if I click add the heading, naturally, this is what it does. It's simply going to put it in the center of the design. So now add the heading here, and I'm going to paste Canva editing tips and tricks. You may be wondering, so why did you use small letter? Because of what we experienced at that time. You can change to capital letter here. You can leave it as small letter here. That way you have a lot more control over that. Now, first thing first is, how can I get Canva logo? Come to elements and then type Canva. You will see the logo right inside there. So you can see this is the logo in different shape and form. So this is Canva right now. And then I can now select Canva editing. So now let me cut these tips and tricks like I did earlier on. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to duplicate that. And then this duplicate is going to have a Canva editing. I'm going to delete tips and tricks. That's that. And therefore this one, I'm going to have tips and tricks left so that I can maneuver the text. Now, it may look like it's far away. You can zoom in so that you can see what you are doing. You can zoom it in and just focus on that part alone. So now, Canva editing tips and tricks. The good part with this is that you can always change the color for this. So if you don't want to use the original blue color of Canva, you can always change it to the color that fits the branding of what you're doing. Now, in this case, I'm still going to use the branding of Audacity to Lead, which is the red that I was using earlier on. So let me first of all bring in my background. I'm going to click these elements here again, and then I'm going to bring in a shape and make it my background. You can see that it automatically fetches the color of the background, right? So now I'm going to make it big, and then I'm going to move it so that it matches that grid. Can you see that that grid is helping me to align it properly? You can see that is setting it by itself because I've already put a grid there. I'm going to choose position, and I'm going to send backward, or I can send to back so that it goes straight. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color from there. I'm going to change it to red, and then I'm going to change this one here to maybe, let's say I use this white. I'm going to change it to red, and this one I'm going to change it to, let's say, cream, so that I can have it looking elegant. Now the other part is I can leave it so that the Canva branding is consistent. I'm going to change this red to black so that that Canva branding is consistent, so that anybody looks at it can immediately know that this is Canva design that I'm talking about here. Now for this, I'm going to change the font here to Bibas. Bibas is the font that I use for Audacity Leads design on Canva. So I'm going to use Bibas. There are two types of Bibas, and the two of them are free. One Bibas, you can always make it bold. This new acrylic, this Bibas new acrylic Cyrillic, I'm not sure you can make it bold, But this B bars, you can see there's no bold option up here. But this B bars new, you can always make it bold. So it has bold option. So that's the reason why I always like to use this B bars new, because it allows me to always choose whether to make my design bold or to not make the design bold. So now Canva editing, so I can make this like this, Canva editing. Okay, now again, am I focusing on desktop or mobile? In this case, let me use mobile. So I can type phone here, or I can come to the grids or to the frames and look for a phone frame. So if I'm using mobile, I can simply put this here. So this is going to be my mobile phone frame. I can drag this here right now. And then I can go to photos and look for smartphone. So let me type smartphone. So let me type smartphone, and I can use any of, let me see, any of these pictures here. I'm looking for somebody who's holding a phone. So good, this guy. Now, by the way, if you notice right now, you see that this is showing pro. That is because this is a pro image. So I can drag it into the, you can see I'm dragging it directly into that frame rather than dragging it to the arts board, to the entire space. I'm just putting it inside that frame. So it simply settles inside that frame. But then I don't want this particular guy. So let me go to Pixels to go and find smartphone. So let me go to Pixels and find smartphone. You'll see here I have better pictures here. So let me look for, okay, good. I love this guy here. So I'm going to use this guy here. And then I can adjust guy's picture. Now double click and then adjust what's happening. So you can also increase, you can make it bolder so that the guy is very visible from that space. Then you click done. Then adjust. So now I'm going to increase saturation so that the guy is more visible, and then I'm going to increase his contrast so that he is sharper. Now I've done that, I'm done with that. So if you don't like the frame, you can always adjust your frame. So you can always adjust your frame. This frame here, you can always change it to blue. You can see, you can change it to red. You can change it to yellow, but I'm going to maintain black because that's the color of my own phone right now. So this is this right here. I can move this from here, and then I'll put this here, and then I'll put this here. So for this, let me reduce this, and then let me bring it on the phone here. So position, I would simply choose forward, and then I can turn it around, maybe tilt it to a side, something like this, so that it shows Canva editing tips and tricks. Now I'm going to put this here, or I can just make it bolder. So I can make it bolder, I can increase the size. So now I'm going to increase the size from 88 to, let's say, 120. It looks very big right now. And then I'm going to choose alignment. Right now I'm going to choose yellow as a font, as a color rather. So yellow color, and then Canva editing. Now for this tiny one here, I'm going to choose Bebas as well. But this time around, I'm going to choose a smaller size. So you can choose from there, or you can simply drag it. So Canva editing tips and tricks. Now look at this. The distance between this Canva and this editing is too much. So you can come to this spacing here, up here, and then use line height, and then drop it down. But then it automatically blends back. So you draw your shape back. You kind of reduce that frame back. Now I'm going to make it bolder so that it kind of takes over the conversation. So that it kind of takes over the conversation. You can see it's very, very bold. So as you're scrolling, you see it's very, very bold. Then you can see again, I want to select the tips and tricks. It's not selectable, so I'm going to send to back. I'm going to send forward. And then right now, the tips and tricks is now selectable. So right now, this is tips and tricks here. I'm going to align it to the right, and then I'm going to choose white for this particular color. So this is white here. Now, again, making it better. Remember again, your design, anytime you are designing, you want to ask yourself, is this the best I can do with this design? I'm going to delete this. What I'm trying to do is I want to bring it in. I want to drag it to this place, not to just move it around. So now I'm going to put a rectangle behind these tips and tricks. The idea of the rectangle is to make it look a little more professional, so that there's something that is going behind this picture, this frame here. So now, what's the color that I want to use? And by the way, you can also use the mouse. You can use your keyboard. You can use it to move text around. So you can use it to move objects around. So right now I'm going to use, this is not white. This doesn't look like white. So let me type white. So this is white now. Then I'm going to choose position, and I'm going to send backward, backward, backward. And you can see right now, so I'm going to send forward a little. Then this font here, I can now change the color to black. So this is the first page. Can you get it now? Now, the interesting thing is, do I want to create double? So I want to, this is Canva editing tips and tricks. This is page 1. Now this part now, I want to put my face, and I want it to be like I'm crossing from one slide to the other. So how do I do that? The best way to do that is to use a transparent picture. So let me bring in my picture here now and show you how to do that. I'm already going past 5 minutes that I promised, but should I stop? Everybody, should I stop?
Please
No,
don't.
no, no, no.
Let's just finish. Let's just finish what we started.
Continue.
Okay. Okay, good. So now I'm going to drag this. I'm going to drag it here to this place. And then I'm going to enlarge. I'm going to enlarge. Now you'll notice that I'm putting it at the center of that cut, at the center of that grid. So that's exactly how to make your picture split into 2. Do you get that now? Now for this, I'm going to come to elements again. I'm going to drag this. I'm going to place it here. So I'm going to place it here, and then I'm going to drag it out here like this, so that I have the shape big enough to occupy the background. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to change the color to a yellow. Then I want to choose position and send backward. Can you see this now? Can you see this design now? Can you see how we split? For this picture needs to be adjusted. So let me increase the contrast. Can you see that? If you choose contrast, if you choose saturation, you can actually make it black and white. And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to make it black and white. And then I can increase this, make it darker. Of course, if you add your saturation back, you can also use your saturation to add a lot of colors. But in this case, I just want the saturation to be just tiny. And then the brightness, you can darken it, you can increase the brightness. So I like it this way. This is what I want to have. This is me. Now I'm going to fall back to the red. So how can I create the background? How can I make the background more interesting before I write my text? You can see this see all. And then if you scroll down, you will see this grid here. Very interesting. Somebody. Emmanuel Odu, you are hereby fired. You did not mute yourself. I'm coming to come and meet you. So now I'm going to drag this here right now. And then I'm going to change the color. So this color here, I can change it to black. Or I can change it to a different color of yellow, a different shade of yellow. So I can select this here and then come to yellow here and select a different shade of yellow, a different shade of yellow. So this is yellow I want to use. It's obstructing, so I don't want it to become the thing that people pay attention to. So I can come to transparency and then reduce the transparency. Can you see that? So I can reduce the transparency and then position, I can say to back and then say forward. That way it now sits behind me. Let me bring in my text right now. So high quality content on your smartphone. I'm going to, this time around, bring in the text one after the other. Copy. And then I'm going to go to text. And then I'm going to add the heading. And then I'm going to paste my text. So you can see it's kind of cutting everything away from the entire screen. So I'm going to now click off, move my mouse over to this, then drag it back, bring it back. So now I'm going to make it here, and then I'm going to change the font to Bebas again. Now I can select this here and choose make bold. So I can make bold this element alone. Or I can undo and just select only smartphone as what I want to make bold. So in fact, I can even do it this way, that I'm going to delete the smartphone. That is, I want this high quality content to be just on one line. So that means being on one line this way, I can reduce it this way, and then I can use this here to arrange it. So let it stay here. Then I duplicate, and then I enter the smartphone text. So now smartphone is now written. I'm going to send it to the side way, that is alignment to left, and then I'm going to increase smartphone like this, and then I'm going to make it bold. You can see it's not working, so I'm going to select out and then select in back, and then click smartphone. Now I'm going to send it, okay, it's basically on top of the text right now. It's on top of the design right now. So let me select this as well, and then try and reduce the two of them together. So now let me bring in the final text that's supposed to be on that page. So it's now graphic design tutorials for free. So now I can now select this text and duplicate it, and then come down here and then paste the text I just brought in. So now I can move it this way, and then I'll click off that element, especially the text, and then align it again. Now you can see graphic design tutorials for free. So I can put it here, I can put it here. Then if I want to use elements, all those gradient that we use that time, all those gradient elements that we use that time, I can still scroll down and come and look for a gradient that I think will make sense in that background. So let's say I want to use something like, this. So let's say I want to use something like this. I can actually turn it around this way and change the color to black, and then this other one here can be red. So now it still carries the brand color, and I can make it bold. By the way, I can enlarge it so that it's bigger, and I can reduce it as well. So now I'm going to place these graphic design tutorials for free inside that. And you can also come to elements and type arrows. So if you want to use arrows, you can type arrow. You can see these are different arrows. Now I'm going to particularly type paper arrow. Paper arrow. And you see paper type of, so you can see now, you can see all these types here. So this is a type here. Okay, these are pro elements. These are pro elements. I'm looking for free elements. I don't want to use any paid elements. Okay, all of these are looking at, they're appearing as paid. I'm looking for, okay, let me just type arrow. I don't want to use any paid elements, so let me type arrow back. And then maybe what I would then need to do would be to scroll and scroll till I find, okay, good. So I like this. This is free. So I can drag this here, and then, so let's say I want them to, do something next. So I can put it up here like this, or maybe you can rotate this way, or rotate any way you want it to go. So let's say this is what I want to do. This arrow is not actually looking, it's not matching exactly what I'm trying to do. Okay, but I can use it to point in the direction of, this is what I want it to do next. So let's say I create this here. I can actually put this here, so that becomes the bridge between the two pages. So that becomes the bridge between the two pages now. So I can add that as an extra element that becomes the bridge between the two pages. Now for this here, these graphic design tutorials, so let me now adjust the spacing. So now line height, good. So the spacing here, undo that one. So now let me now make this bolder. So I can put this here right now. Graphic design tutorials for free. I want it to fit inside this frame. So what do? I simply reduce that. And then maybe I might need to duplicate so because of alignment, you can see here, I'm trying to align them as well. So maybe I can actually make it this way. Maybe I can make it this way. Okay, cool. So maybe I can make it this way. Now, for this, I can use position and send backward, 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 backward. Okay, it's not going backward, so bring forward. So bring forward. Then for this one, then I can select this and then move it to back. No, to front, to front. Okay, so backward a little, backward a little. Okay, no, to front. Then I can select this canvas here and then bring this canvas to front and then bring this element to front. That way I've hidden this one in the background. So this is currently right now just sitting in the background. So let's say I want to also show a picture, an icon of a phone. So I can just type phone inside the elements here and you will see phone. So you see phone, there are free options. So this is a free option here. So in fact, let's say we want to do the class, say it's a class that you are promoting. You can actually put WhatsApp. So this is WhatsApp here. You can put a WhatsApp icon here right now. No, let's use Telegram since Telegram is what we are using for this class. So let's type Telegram. Let's type Telegram. Okay, so you can see Pro. Okay, this is free. Good. So this is Telegram here. A position to front. So you can place it maybe here, or you can position it here, or you can reduce that so that it's just sitting down here. Of course, in order for people to know what it is about, you will now provide the final this final text at the back here. So now let me open this up. Images, PNGs, free fonts, and more. Now, for this, I can simply just duplicate this text here and bring it to the next page. Are you still with me? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Yes,
Okay,
we are with you, sir.
And are you grabbing what I'm doing?
Yes, yes. We're trying our best.
I'm trying our best to
Uh, yeah, mute yourself so that I can tell you what I need to tell you.
Sir, there's no free Telegram, I think.
Everybody mute yourself. Mute yourself first. Now, if you want to say something, you let me know you want to say something. Aside from the fact that I asked questions, you should let me know that you want to say something. Yes, please go on.
Okay, I'm looking for a free Telegram icon, but all of them are premium. All.
This is free, and this is free. These two are free, as you can see. These two are free. So actually search, scroll, keep scrolling, you will find them. Now, these images, PNGs, free fonts, and more, I'll need to duplicate it 3, that is, I have 2 duplicates, 1, 2. So now, more is what I'm going to put here. So I'm going to delete this, and then I'm going to bring that more down here. So this more, bring it down here. Then these can now be images, PNGs. That's what I'm going to have here. So let me delete the remaining text and then bring it closer. Then here I'm going to delete images, PNGs. So for this, I'm going to delete images, PNGs, and then I'm going to delete more. So now I want you to pay attention to what I'm doing. See, this is what I'm trying to replicate. This design here is what I'm trying to replicate now. So images, PNGs, free fonts, and more. So now I'm going to make this more big. So this more needs to be big. This more can be big, and then I can make it bolder. I can put free fonts here, and I can make it like this, free fonts like this, and I can do it like this, and then I can say images. So these can then occupy the screen, can be as big as possible. Okay, so now for this, I can return back to the previous background, the red background for this part. So now in order to return to the background, what do? I simply go back up again and then go and bring a shape in. So I simply bring a shape in. It should take the color of red. Then I simply drag again till, and then because I can't see the edge there, I'm going to zoom to fit so that I can see everything now. Okay, good. Now from here, I will now send this position, I will send it backward till it gets to the back. This is the picture here, right? And now then I can choose this yellow, this white, where's the color? So these, where's white? Okay, this is white. And then let's say this here. Now you notice again that there's a problem somewhere. I can't select one particular font. So I'm going to choose position and then I'm going to start sending to back. Okay, send font. Good. So now this one is still obstructing that. So I'm going to choose backward. And then let me see if this is now selectable. So now this font here now changes to, let's say, white as well. And then I make it bold, or I can take it from bold. Now again, I want to add extra elements, like I want to add all those plenty icons. So you can come to these elements here. You can type Instagram. You will see Instagram icon for free here. So now I'm adding Instagram icon. Here. So let me put it here. I can put it here actually, and then use this same style that I used here. Copy this. Rather than copy, I'm going to group. I'm going to duplicate and then group, and then I'm going to try and bring it straight to this side of the screen here. And then I'm going to ungroup. I'm now going to send this tab, this rectangle. I'm going to start sending it backward so that it stays behind the. Then I can now add Instagram and let's say I want to start Instagram and do Audacity to lead, or I can simply add at I am Dayo Samuel. So it's cutting off so I can stretch so that it fills the background. Now for this here, I can simply drag so that it goes outwards. So can you see what I've just done? Does this look like something interesting? Now, after you've done this, so let me call it carousel. Let me change the name to carousels. Let me call it 3-page carousels. Let me name it 3-page carousels. Now, after you've done this, you can go ahead and download. Of course, you most likely see PNG most times. And then you can simply click download. It's going to download for you. It's going to download for you. Now, let's go on a break. So let's go on a break. By the time we come back, I'm going to transfer this file to my phone, and I'm going to show you how to cut it into pieces on your phone so that you can now post it on Instagram. Okay, are we good to go? Have you learned anything so far?
Wow. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So
You've learned so much.
hello. I'm actually thrilled. Thank you.
Yeah, what?
I am thrilled. Thank you.
We'll try, although it was a bit too fast.
Yes, I did
This
that
is
too fast so that
exceptional.
you can see how I usually do it. But of course, you can.
I need the page back. I need the page back, please.
You know what?
I need the page back, like the video of your screen, your laptop screen, sir.
Oh, okay.
So I want to
Let me
show
share
my work. You guys should go on Telegram group. I did it. I'm sending it to the group.
Really? Okay. Let me
Yes.
bring up Telegram. So let me bring up Telegram. while that is waiting, somebody asked that I showed this on screen. So I've showed it on screen. You wanted to point at something or you wanted to mention something? If you are talking to me, I can't hear you. But if you're talking to somebody else, mute yourself. Okay. I'm going to hold on. So I'm going to hold on and check. So this is how I make that. So let's go on a break. By the time we come back, I'm going to start with my phone, and then I'm going to start with showing you how I break it into images that you can post on Instagram. In fact, let me start right now. Let me start sending this to my phone so that there will not be too many time to waste. So if you have any questions at this point, please go ahead and hold your question till we come back from the break. But I'm going to put this on the screen. What I want you to do is stand up, stretch, stand up, shake your body, do a couple of exercise. If you can, drink water like you saw me go do the other time. I want to go and take water. So drink water, do anything you want to do. Just walk around, take a walk around. Let yourself and your body, let it experience a little of freedom from sitting in one spot.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Hello,
please.
This is
Yes, please.
Josime. I would like to get your personal number later after the class, sir, if you don't mind.
At this point, I can't say yes to that, but you can
Okay,
follow
sir.
me on Instagram at I am Dayo Samuel. Actually,
I am Dayo Samuel.
Yes.
Is it all one word together?
Of course, on Instagram, we write all words together now. As you can see on screen, that's the
I've seen you, sir.
I've seen.
All right, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's all right. So, from my Instagram there, you can see whatever it is you want to see. If you check my bio URL. So at this point, me, I want to take a walk. I want to just walk around for a couple of minutes. This is already 12 o'clock. So,
Hello, sir.
I'm going to switch to my phone afterwards. Hello?
Sorry, sir. What about we that we are using mobile? We are not able to do it the way you did it. So I don't know. It's like it's complex or mobile fashion.
Okay. Again, if you have been listening, what did I say? I said, when we come back from break, I'm going to switch to my mobile and show you how to do all of them on your phone. That is what I said. You have not been listening.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So,
I'm just curious. Yes.
Okay, it's all right. I'm going to, we are coming back in the next 2 minutes, please, because we are almost 12 o'clock.
All right, sir.
I'm just going to turn off my video and then hold on. So
Hi, everybody. Is anybody still there?
Yes. Hi.
Okay, so I don't know if Mr. Adayo is still around, but for the first design here, just before we come back for the other part of the class, if you want to add logo to the very first one we did, the celebrating International Youth Week, do you have any idea of how I can go about it?
So you would have to make your logo transparent. So you can just search web for background remover. You know the logo we did the first day. So you can now
I was actually not around for the first day, so I really do not know how to. You see the parts where there is the templates, uploads, photos, and all of that. Is the logo supposed to be somewhere there?
No, you are the one that will upload your logo. You already have it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sorry. Hello. Hello. Can I ask a question?
Okay, so
How do you?
Yes, everybody, welcome back to class. I'm back. So let's jump right in. If you want to ask a question, please, I don't know, should I ask that you hold on for a little bit? But go on, ask your question while we are resuming. Ask your question, please.
Sir, how do you make your logo with same color of the background like the first design that you did? Because I added my logo, but I don't know how to make it the same color background.
Remove the background.
You will need to have your logo in a PNG format. And when I say PNG format, what I mean by PNG format type of pictures, particularly transparent PNG. Transparent means it does not have a background. PNG means it is replicable everywhere. You can use it anywhere you want to use it, okay? So if you have a logo already, I recommend you go meet the person who helped you to design it, or if you designed it yourself, then you want to find the, what's the name? The transparent option. So you want to get the PNG transparent option, okay? But that's a simple answer. So now when you are creating your logo, you want to create your logo in 3 major versions. First version is the full color. Second version is a black version, and third version is a white color. Do you get that? So you want to have your logo or any logo of any company you are working with, particularly if it is the company that allows you to use white and black. Some logos, for example, I was working with Heritage Bank. I was designing for them at one point, and you can't use black in their design. The only option you can use is a particular shade of gray. So I need to, if you're not using white or their green logo, the green and gray logo, you can only use gray. So in their own logo, they have just white, gray, and their normal color. Do you get it now? So go and get your logo in white, black, or if you have a very solid branding like that, utilize that option. Okay? Now, at this point, I want to go ahead and show my screen on my phone. I want to go ahead and share my screen on my phone. So let's all come back to class. So I'm going to share my screen on my phone right now. So you are about to see my phone in the next couple of seconds. That's right. So my phone is popping up, it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. Okay, good. So right now you can see my phone on your screen. And what I want you to do is to pay attention to this right now. So let me first of all jump into Canva and show you how this works inside Canva. Please, can you see my screen? I can see myself here, but I need to be sure that you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir. Yes, we can see your screen, sir.
Okay, let me turn off this so that what you are seeing is just what I want you to see. Good. What can you see where you are?
Okay.
I can see your Canva.
Okay, good. So right now, I want you to see this right now. My Canva is currently loading, so it's loading. So you can see it's taking time to show up on screen. So you can see from my phone here, you can see that all the designs that we created just now, all of them are backed up automatically. That's the good part of Canva. Canva helps you to back up your file, so you don't need to be struggling for saving. Now, this 3-page carousel, the reason why I can't open is because it's open somewhere else. It might even notify me that your design is open somewhere. You can see it right here on my phone, right? So if I want to, I can actually click, this is where to download. This arrow that faces down is where to download. So I can download that and I can go back. Right now, let me show you how to quickly design something on your phone. So in this case now, I'm going to design an Instagram post. So let's say I'm creating an Instagram post. I'm going to click plus. And then when it loads, let's say I want to do the same thing I did just now, but a simpler element. So what I want to do right now is just create the first page of that Canva design. That's the only thing I want to do right now. I want to create the first page of that design. And by that first page, I'm referring to that Canva editing tips and tricks. So the first thing I'll do is come to this plus. First of all, look for the frame. And how do you get the frame? You get the frame under illustrations. You come to frame. Can you still see my phone? Can you see my phone screen?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. So now you pick this picture, this frame here, you simply bring it up here right now, and then you place it by the side. Next thing you want to do is you want to find your Canva logo. So you come to, anytime you're looking for elements, elements on laptop is called illustration on phone. So you see them labeled their line, icon, frame, shape, but sometimes they don't include something. So you'll just type when you are looking for it. So I'm looking for Canva. So this is Canva right here. This is the same Canva that we just used now. This is it right here. And you can rotate this way. So you can rotate this way. Now for the background, I'm going to go to illustration and I'm going to pick shape. I'm going to click a rectangle and then I'm going to simply drag out so that it's wide on the screen, filling up the screen. And then the way to work with layers on your phone, the way to send to back, to send to front, like we did on that inside laptop just now, is to click on these three icons you see at the edge of your screen. The three icons up here, this one up here right now. Can you see where I'm tapping right now?
Yes,
Can you see where I'm
we can.
tapping right now? Good. So you tap that icon. This just tap. That is where you send to back or send to up. And transparency is this other one here. So you can choose transparency here and then you can reduce the transparency. You can see that that's for transparency. But then I'm going to click that icon again and then I'm going to start sending backwards. So I've sent backward one. Anybody who's unmuted right now, I will take you out from the meeting and put you in the lobby so that we'll be waiting for everybody. If you are unmuted right now, I'm going to put you in the lobby and you're going to be waiting for everybody. And you are going to be waiting there till we finish. So I'm going to click again. I'm going to click that down again. And now you can see that it's now the background. So I can come back out and then I can select the background. This time I can now select the picture. I can now select the color rather. So I'm slowing down because I'm also seeing it on my screen here. So I'm seeing how slow it is. So I'm slowing down so that I can do it one after the other. Now that you can always adjust your colors here. You can always click this to adjust your color. You can see you can always click this to adjust your color. So you can always adjust your color. I'm going to click no, and then I'm going to select the red. But let me use the blue this time around. Let me use this purple this time around. Oh no, let me just take the red. So that is that for that. Now, what do I do next? I want to add the image of that guy. So what do? I click on that plus sign. This plus sign is usually what menu is. So this plus sign by this corner here is the menu for your design space. So as you can see, there is no grid. There is nothing like that inside here, right? So it means there are a limited number of things that you can do here. But of course, when it comes to images, you can bring in images from your phone, as you can see right here. As you can see right here, you can bring in images from your device. So if you have downloaded an image that you like and would love to use, you can actually bring in the image here. Or if you want to, you can click on images and then you can search for what you want to do. Now, because I need to use the picture, because I need to use the image in an appropriate way, what I am going to do now is I'm going to click on this frame here. And that frame is going to automatically give me the option of adding images. So now, let me select the option here. Hope you can still see my screen. select the option here, and then you click on plus, and then you go to images, and then you go to images rather than gallery. Then let me choose phone. So I'm going to type phone. I'm slowing down so that my screen, the screen that I'm sharing, can catch up. Okay, good. It has caught up now. So I've typed phone. I've sent phone in via search. Now on phone, you can see all those crowns. They mean pro, but the ones that are without crown, they mean you can use them right now. It means they are free. So I'm going to select this particular image here. Now you can see that the image did not go into the picture, into the frame. Why? Let me correct that. The reason is I should have selected the frame originally. So let me delete this image here, and then let me select this one here. So good. So now I'm going to, why is it giving me challenge right now? So I'm going to click the image again. Image. Okay, let me add the image first and let me see what's going to happen. So the phone, let me bring you the phone, and then let me see if I can put that inside that frame. Okay, that frame seems not to be accepting image right now. So let me see how to figure that out. So let me look at illustration, and then let me go to frames, and then let me pick this frame, and then let me see. Okay, so let me try it again. Illustration, frame, and then let me look for that rectangle. Okay, good. So this time around, you can see that this one allows me to put images straight. This one has images here, and I can add images. So something probably may need to be, so you can see that I've added frames to this time around. Hope you are still with me. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes, we're with you,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Good. So now you can crop your picture if it's not fitting into what you want to do. So I'm going to select crop up here. I'm going to select crop up here, and then I'm going to begin to crop. So look at, I can simply crop this way, and then I'll select yes. But again, that's not what I'm trying to do. So there seems to be a little challenge right now with this particular frame, but let me take it out. Let me bring in a frame. My phone seems to have frozen on the screen here. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one seeing that. What can you see on your screen, please?
Yeah,
Blank.
your screen is fresh.
Okay, let me hold on for that while I check something. So okay, good. That's caught up. It has caught up now, so it has caught up. So hopefully it's going to scroll back up. So let's see. Yeah, now sure now. So good. So I'm holding on and waiting for it to move off. For those of you sending me messages, thank you. I can read your message. I can see your message. This has just frozen. I don't know why it's frozen. So let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing my screen for a while and let me see. So good. I've stopped sharing now. Let me resume sharing back. So let me share. I want to share my screen now. Okay, so.
Yes, we can see now.
Yes, good. So now let me add the Canva editing. Let me add the text. So this is where to add text. You can either add the text from the bunch of text here, or you can add some text of your own. I, again, always like to add text of my own. Canva editing. Canva editing. Now, font, I can scroll down here and then type Bibas. So you can see the Bibas here. It becomes added automatically. This is where you adjust. This is where you adjust size. Okay, looks like it has frozen again, so I'm holding on for it to catch up. So you select this size where you see number. When you select your text, where you see number on your screen, that's where you. Where you see number on your screen, that's where you. It's still hanging. 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 There are other ways that I can actually share these, but I'm just hoping that it's not going to take a longer time.
Excuse me, Mr. Dyer.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Everybody, closing attendance has been posted, so please make sure you sign. And also the class reps can send it to the Telegram group chat. Thank you.
Finally, it has shown up. Thank you. It's like you are the one that made it to show up. Thank you. So now, what I was saying before that went off is, you see where there's 239 on the screen here, this side here, that's where you adjust the size of your font. For this part, you see yellow here, that's where you adjust the color. Spacing, as we did on Canva on laptop that time, this is where you adjust the spacing, this is where you put them together, and this is where you adjust line height. This is how to do that as well. Now, for this, I can simply have it like this, and then I can create another text. So I'm going to create another text, add some text of your own. I like mobile because mobile inherits the text that you have on your design. So tips and tricks. So can you see this now? And then I can make this big so that it's big and it sits underneath here. So let me move this up a little. And then let me move this up a little as well so that I can create space down and there. So have you seen that? Now I'm going to add another thing here. And this time around, I'm going to add a shape. So I'm going to click on shape. And then I'm going to add a rectangle. So I'm now going to drag this rectangle. I'm going to bring it down here like this. And then I'm going to put it beneath. So how to do layer is what? So let me hold on so that can catch up. Let me hold on so that the screen can catch up with where I am right now. So I've reduced the size of the square. Somebody's voice is still speaking, and your name is Odige Osimen. I've told you before, you were the person that unmuted yourself earlier on. So I'm going to boot you out if you're not careful.
Sorry, sir.
So I'm trying to make some changes on the screen. So maybe the screen is going to show up. So hopefully it should show now. Okay, good. Now you can see, in case you're wondering, what did I do? I drew a rectangle, then I moved it behind the text. I just used the layer option to move it behind the text. Now, the shape here, I can make it black. I make it black so that the text can be visible. Now, the text in yellow is not going to be interesting to the eye, so let me change it to white. Then I select OK. So you can see the same way that I was designing on laptop is the same thing that I'm doing here. Now, let me go and find out if gradient is available on mobile. So I'm going to go to illustration. I'm going to type gradient. I'm going to type gradient and I'm going to type enter. And if you look at the screen right now, you will see that gradient is available in mobile. But in fact, the gradient that I used, the exact one that I used in that design earlier on, is actually available on mobile. I know right now you can't see the screen. It's so unfortunate that this thing is not showing up. Okay, good. It can show. It's showing up now. Can you see the gradient? Everyone, can you see the gradient?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So the person that asks a gradient, I can't find it on phone. This is the gradient that you asked for, and this is it right here. So you can see, I guess it's loading, I guess it's loading, I guess it's loading. So you can see it right here. Some elements failed to load. Good. So it means they might not work on phone. From what I'm looking at here, it's as if it might not work on phone. Okay, this one actually worked now. So look at the screen right now. See what I've done on the screen. Please look up and see what I've done on the screen. Can you see that I've brought in a gradient here now? And I can simply put that somewhere around here. I can simply put that somewhere around here. Can you see that? And then I can send it backward. So I can send it to back. I can send it to back so that it doesn't interfere with the text. And then I can change the color. So the color right now, I can change the color from red to, let's say, a brighter red to a different kind of, let's say, blue. Or let me use a color that is off. Okay, good. So hopefully you can see my screen right now. Hopefully you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, please?
The screen is not moving.
It's not moving.
The screen is not
yes.
moving.
I'm actually looking at it. I'm actually looking at it right now, so I can see that it has frozen when I brought in the ingredients. I wanted to say ingredient like that guy said earlier on. So it has frozen where I paused, where the ingredients stopped. The ingredient of salt and Maggi. Okay, good. It has caught up now. So you can see how I moved the gradient to a side, changed the color, and made it fit. Now, a design without an image sometimes can look very good depending on how you make your design look. But sometimes you also need to use, if you look down beneath my screen right now, you see that it says some elements failed to load. Can you see that?
Yes, I see.
Yes. Sir.
And the reason why it's failing to load is because of those elements work better on desktop, on web than on phone. That is the main reason. Okay, so now let's say this is where so now let's bring in Instagram icon. No, let's bring in Telegram. So I'm typing Telegram right now. So it's meant to open up on screen, and then right now it's going to show up. So Telegram right now is coming up on your screen. I'm waiting for it to load, but I've actually typed Telegram, and I can see Telegram open in my front right now. So I've added Telegram right now. Good. So you can see this is free Telegram and it's free. It is not paid for. So I can make it come down like this. Now on mobile, when you reduce your elements, you can actually zoom in. Oh, sorry. You can actually zoom in your design. You can zoom in your design completely by holding down using two fingers. So the same way you will use two fingers to zoom into a picture, you can also zoom in on Canva by holding down three things on your keypad. By holding two parts of that design, particularly if you are not selecting any object. If you select an object, that object is just going to be growing big. It's going to be scaling the object up. So hopefully right now it should show. So now I have this on screen. And sorry if it's not showing. Hopefully if I'm going to repeat this session with you, I'll most likely take a different style. I'll most likely take
Sir,
a
please, I have
different.
a question.
Yes, please ask your question. So as you can see, this is it zoomed out right now. So I can zoom back in. You can zoom back in. Oh, sorry. So just hold on, please. Let me quickly sort this. So in order to zoom in, so how do I zoom in? So now I need to click off the design and then zoom out. So right now I've zoomed out and then I've zoomed back in. Please ask your question right now. Please go on.
Okay, sir, the illustrations, this Telegram logo, you got it from illustrations, right?
Yes.
And then the gradient also.
Yes, from illustration.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Images, you find images under images. Stickers, you find stickers under stickers. If you want to work with templates on Canva, you can find templates inside the templates option. And if you want to work with logos, maybe you are creating logos. By the time we get to talking about logos, you will see how that can be done. Okay, so let me add the final text. The final text here is going to be free class by GIZ, and then this is the design now. So you can see free class, and then you can change the color to any style you want. So that's that color right now. This is my design on my screen. The background looks plain. So can I make the background more interesting? Let me show you how to make that background interesting. You click on this plus menu, you come to illustration, and then you can click on, you can scroll down the same way I added those lines in the background for my earlier design. Select that shape as well. That shape is supposed to show up on your screen, right? So you can now increase the shape, make it go to the background. So right now you should be able to see it, or maybe somebody should. So hopefully right now you should be able to see it. Now I'm not going to take that shape. I'm going to keep sending it to the back. Keep sending it to the back. So can you see that is the shape right now covering everything? So I'm going to keep sending it to the back. Keep sending it to the back, one after the other. Now it's at the back. The color is too reddish. So now I've changed it to a black. And then I can reduce the transparency. I can now reduce the transparency. So now look at your screen right now and tell me what you see. So let me see. So right now you should be able to see what's on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So now it's showing. Can you see the way I've just added the background without necessarily complicating things right there on my phone? So this is how I work on my phone here. Now let me jump off Canva and then show you how to cut that image that that I brought in earlier on, how to cut it into pieces so that you can now post it on Instagram. Of course, if you want to post on Instagram, let me show you that. The image that we brought in earlier on, this long image here. Let's see the screen. Let's see the screen. Let's see the screen. This image here. So let me show you how to cut this on Canva, how to post it on Canva. Of course, Canva can reduce it for you, but everything will be visible like this. How do you then do this? To install an app called Panorama Split. You can see it up here. You can see it up here. Panorama Split. That's the app to use. So you don't need to go pro. Just choose a photo. So just choose a photo. Then you will see this photo up here. So just select that photo and then pick that photo. You will see it on screen right now. So it should show up on screen. It should show up on screen. It should show up on screen.
Hello,
Just
sir.
so,
Is this Parona? Is it on Google Play Store?
yes, this Panorama Split is going to cut your image. So you will select the number of pictures you want it to cut into. So if you want it to cut into 3, if you want it to, of course, you remember that you have already done your calculation before. So you can cut into 9, you can cut into 10, you can cut into 2, you can cut into 3. And right now it's not showing up on your screen. So let me do an hack again. Let me do something on can still show again. So let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing and then I will share back. So good. Now I'm going to share screen, and then I'm going to resume back to what I was doing earlier on. So now you should be able to see it now.
Yes.
What can you see? Saying yes.
Panorama screen split. Yeah, the image is inside.
Okay, so you can see my picture inside this thing now, right?
Yes.
So now what you then do is you can select 3, you can select 4, you can select 2, you can select 9. So if you are splitting into 9 different pictures, you select that. But this I'm splitting into 3. So you simply just select 3 and then you click split up here. You can see this is what's going to split it into for you. 1. So it's just going to split it for you like this. Leave and then come back again. Let me try that. So just hold on. Let me stop sharing. And then I'm going to resume back. You can see that right now. Okay, so what can you see now?
Still blank, nothing.
Blank
Black.
screen.
Blank screen, nothing.
Blank, nothing.
Okay.
It's just showing the icon of you and your wife on the screen.
Okay, so let me see. Okay, let me try something then. Let me stop sharing from my phone and then let me use my main camera here to show it to you guys. So let me use my main camera here to show it to you guys. So please look up on the screen right now and let me show it to you from here. So this is one. So let me bring the camera closer to my hand. So this is one here. Then you swipe this way, you see this is the second. So this is number 1. Can you see? This is 2, and then this is 3 continuing here. Do you get it now? And this is still inside the app. So it is when you're done with this, that you just simply just click. So you just click post to Instagram. If you click post to Instagram, it's going to ask you that, okay, do you want to go ahead and post? just click cancel so that it doesn't go from the app to Instagram straight. Once you click cancel, it just saves all the pictures on your phone. Now I can go from there to my gallery, and then from my gallery you will see the pictures on my phone. So now this is the picture here. This is 2 and this is 3. So that's how to do that. So if you go from there and then you say you want to post on Instagram. So let me open up Instagram here. So let me open up Instagram now. And then, so now if you want to post on Instagram, what do? You simply select those images. So you select this one as the first part. This is number 1. Then you select this button here. Look at, can you see this tiny button here? Of course, many of you already know the buttons to click to share many pictures on Instagram. Am I correct? You already know that, isn't that?
Yeah.
So you will select that carousel option. So once you select that carousel option, it tells you to select picture number 1, picture number 2, and then picture number 3. So now I'm going to try and click next. So look at next and then see what this is what you will now see on Instagram. So look at it here. This is what you see, 1 and then 2 and then 3. That's what you now see on Instagram. So that's how I create such images using only Canva. So I hope that is helpful to you today. If there's one thing you've learned today, share that with me right now. So what's one thing you have learned so far?
Excuse me, sir, please. Can we complete this design on phone? The 3 designs.
Yes, you can do it on phone. You just need to do extra work. And by extra work, I mean, please hold on. My light fell off and it has swooped. Okay, I'm going to get back to that. Yes, you can do it on phone. In order to do it on phone, of course, you do them. You will go to, so from inside Canva. So let's say from inside Canva, when you want to set up, you choose custom dimension. So you go to where you type size. So you just enter your custom dimension. You get that. So let me show you that to you on screen. So please look up again. Look up. So from here, once you click plus here on Canva, rather than choosing any of the sizes here, you simply click on this option here. Can you see this size up here? So
Yes,
once
sir.
once you tap that size, it allows you to enter your. So remember earlier on, what was the size we worked with? We worked with 3240 by 1080. So width now, I'm going to change this width from that to 3240. So I'm going to change it to 3240. So I'm going to change this to 3240, and then I'm going to press next. I'm going to press next, and then I'm going to click. So I'm going to click yes up here. So I'm going to click on this tick icon up here. So look at now. Once I click that, can you see that? Can you see it on the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir, we can,
in
sir.
order to then fill it up, you simply use a frame. You simply use a frame that has 3 grids. So you simply use a frame that has 3 grids. About what I did earlier on, I can hear. I can hear that. So grid is not showing up on phone, but frames are available on phone. So let me use frame. So I'm going to scroll down till I find the keep scrolling till I find the frame I'm looking for. So I'm going to keep scrolling till I find the frame I'm looking for. So right now I can't find that frame. Can you see that? Right now I can't find that frame. So that that side of using those 3 frames are not available on mobile. But let me show you a way around it. So if you click on this, you can fill it up. So that's supposed to be the 3 frames. Then you can rotate it sideways. So you can rotate it sideways. Let me raise the camera up. You can rotate it sideways. So look at, this is how you now have the grid. But of course, again, because on mobile, you don't have grids, you don't have those rulers, you may not be able to fully do all those lines that I created earlier on. So hopefully this is helpful to you. At this point, I'm going to take 3 questions and then we'll round off. Who wants to ask a question here right now?
Hello, sir. Me.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, I just first and foremost, I want to say thank you. Like I learned a lot. Like it's glad I'm here. Then on the other hand, I wanted to ask: is it possible to have the Canva system, the Canva software on your system run without data, like offline?
No, it doesn't run offline. It runs purely online. And by the way, Canva on desktop, Canva as a software on your laptop takes more data than Canva in web. So if you are the type who wants to manage data, you want to work with desktop strictly, with web strictly, rather than using Canva as an app on your laptop. So I've muted everybody. Second question, I had somebody say all right, so I wanted to find out who was the person that said all right.
I have a question. All right,
yes, please
sir.
ask.
Thank you so much. This has been really impactful. We need to really watch the videos to be able to catch up to speed with all the things you've taught today. Amazing. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
I missed out on how you split your screen, basically. I think if you can help with that, how to split the screen.
How I split the screen on laptop or on phone?
On the phone.
Okay. By splitting screen, you mean the way I split the image, right?
Exactly, yes. Yes, please.
Okay, so what I used is an app called Panorama Split. Okay, that's the name of the app. So I use it on my phone. It's called Panorama Split, and it allows you to, once you load any image, it lets you split it into the number, especially in a panoramic split, not the square kind of split that people post one picture in 9 different ways on Instagram. That's not the type it does. It simply splits it on a straight line. So it does a straight split for you like a panoramic picture. So that's how I made that. So I split it inside the app, then I go on Instagram and then post it.
Does this mean that
hello, sir.
you finish the design on Canva before you now split on Panorama?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
If you are particularly doing a design where the image we need to cross from one post to the other post, then I recommend you do it as a stretch. But if you are not doing it such that a page, you remember the first method I showed you was I cropped the picture in half, then copied it to the next page. You remember that was the first thing I showed, right?
Yes, I saw that.
So you can also use that cropping style on your phone. So you can crop the picture to half, then click duplicate page. It simply duplicates the page and then you continue from the next page and you can do that as well. But if you are not creating a carousel that the pictures are moving from one page to the other page, you may not necessarily need to create the long stretch, the panoramic type of picture. You might just create it in small pages like we started with earlier on. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Canva also gives you option of multiple slides. For example, if you want to do a presentation for multiple slides. However, when you click on the slide to start editing, it just shows you only the first page and doesn't give you the options of editing all the other pages. Why is that so?
The reason why it does that is it wants you to be adding the page per time so that it doesn't try to fill everything up for you.
Okay, so how do you add, because sometimes some of them come with about 12 different slides. So
that's for a PowerPoint presentation, right?
Yes. How is it possible for you to get all of those so that you can edit them on your own?
So the way, because we are not covering PowerPoint presentation in this class, I'm going to answer that question very, very fast. Do you get that now?
Yes,
This
sir.
class will cover PowerPoint presentation, but of course, PowerPoint presentation is sometimes part of graphic design because I make slides for people. I mean, when I say I make slides for people, I mean top HR guys in Nigeria, the one that makes slides for some of them. So let me show you how to do that inside Canva. Now, if you're using a template for that, so this is a slide, for example. If you're using a template like that, it's going to put the template by the side of the screen for you. What you then do is you simply create a new page, click the template, it's going to fill it up for you on the screen. That's how to do that. So let me create a new page here. Add a new page. Now it's still loading, but by the time it finishes loading, it's going to try to suggest templates by this side of the screen for me, by this side where you can see my mouse. You can see now it's going to try to suggest templates for me. So now you can see recently used. If I click on this recently used, it's going to load up all the templates. So this is the one I'm currently using. So if you click apply all 15 pages, it's going to load all the 15 pages for you. But if this is what you click here, you will see it's going to fill up that page alone for you. The reason why it does that is you can repeat the same style for all your pages. It's all dependent on you. But if you are starting from scratch, you can simply click apply all pages, then it's going to fill all 15 pages onto your workspace. Did that answer your question?
Great, thank you so much for this. Then lastly, the crop tool on
I've been asking plenty questions.
Usually, sorry, sir. The crop tool on Canva is not usually very effective.
Yes, sometimes it takes out the part that you really need, and that's why it's still a limited software anyway.
So on the mobile app, there is a place where you can add plus to take you to the next page 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Can't we do that instead of gridding it, since we can't find grid in the mobile app?
Yes, I already mentioned that if you don't want to go the route of doing that wide screen type, you can simply duplicate your page, and then you simply work with it one after the other. You simply create your page one after the other, and you can maneuver your way around that. I mentioned that at least some people observed me.
Okay, hi. I want to make a contribution.
I'm sorry.
So, with regards to the app that we try to use for the carousel, what I observed is you can use the web version of your mobile phone. So when you use the web version, it asks you to customize the presentation. So that is even way easier than, like, it was as seamless as using my system. So that's another suggestion.
Yes, that's another thing. You can use your phone, your web app, your phone, rather than the Canva mobile app. So, any other question?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Please, I have a question, sir. Please, I didn't get it.
A question they've asked for.
This is Emmanuel, sir. I didn't get the splitting of the pages earlier on, and it threw me off balance. I don't know if you can help me with that.
Okay, because this is a question I've covered 2 times or so when I was doing the session, I recommend you go back and watch the video, okay? Just hold on till they will upload the video. The video will probably be uploaded later this night.
All right, please,
okay, sir.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much for that. Yes, Fatima, please go on.
Yes, sir, please. I just wanted to ask about being creative. I don't know what helps you. Was it practicing or reading books, or probably a mentor or something, but just being creative?
Okay, so when it comes to being creative, thank you for that, because you just reminded me that I'm supposed to give you guys assignments. So I want everybody to create. Here's going to be your assignment, which you are going to submit. You are going to submit this assignment before 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Okay. I'm going to paste the text of what we just did. Create your own version. So I'm going to paste the text inside the chat right now. So create your own version of what we have just done today. I've pasted the text inside the chat. So simply copy it out and keep that for yourself. Now, when it comes to creativity, how do you improve your creativity? How do you explore your creativity? Well, aside from the fact that I studied design in school, I actually went to school to study design. Aside from that, I've been designing before I went to school. I went to school in 2006. I started designing in 2002. That's 4 years before I went to school. Now, how does creativity work? One of the things that I started doing earlier on when I began to design was, if I find a design that I fancy on the road, whether on paper, online, anywhere, I pick it up and study the design. What did this person do? How did this person do this? And you know what I do? I try to repeat everything the person do. The only thing that used to give me challenge then is the images they use. So I will now use my own image. In the process of using my own image, the design will kind of change a little, but that was how I kept tweaking. So over time, in fact, when I started with Canva, initially I started with templates, but later on I realized that, wait, I can actually create this thing without necessarily using templates. And that was how I began to work without using templates on Canva. So when it comes to creativity, what I recommend is start picking up designs. So let me post some pictures inside the group for you guys right now. Maybe you guys can repeat that. I'm going to upload some designs from my laptop to the chat right now. I actually wish I can actually send it inside from a group. I actually wish I can send it to the group. So I'm going to upload maybe 1 or 2 designs for you to do on Canva. Okay? That's how I learned.
We should not find the assignment, sir.
Is in the chat right now.
The assignment is there.
What you do is so the assignment is now in the chat. I've also uploaded 2 pictures in the chat for everybody. So if you check the chat, you will see the 2 pictures right now. So any other question that I need to answer, any other question that has not been asked, so that I can answer that for you guys. So your assignment is create your own carousel design. Make sure it is beautiful. Make sure it is amazing.
Excuse me, sir. It's the assignment, sir. Yes, sir. I hope we are not submitting it today, sir, because for someone like me.
I'm listening.
Hello, sir, like me. Hello?
I'm listening. For someone like you, what happens?
Hello, personally, from my home, and I can't access the messages.
Who is speaking?
Yeah, it's me, it's Paul, sir. I can't access the message.
You are the one that said that for someone like you, you can't access the message.
No, not
you,
me,
right?
not me.
Okay, let me first of all take care of that person that said that for somebody like me that so that now one of the things I need to let you know is you can either give excuse or you can give results. You have already given me an excuse by that statement that you made, and I think if you continue that way, you end up at the end of this training and the end of these 12 weeks, you'll be wondering, so what did I learn self? Because you probably have started a pattern of postponing. Let me tell you what happened with afternoon session. On Monday, I gave them an assignment and told them they should submit. In fact, I don't even tell them to submit. I said they will submit the next day. I think maybe 2 hours after we were done, the first person submitted. Do you know what happened? Everybody started submitting, because that became encouragement to every other person. Yesterday, I gave them assignment that they should submit. I gave them 2 assignments that they should submit before 9 p.m. Can you believe that plenty persons actually submitted before 9 p.m.? If you decide, like you have said right now, that for somebody like me, I have said before that you can go back and watch the video if you miss anything. You can go back and watch the video so that you can pick up the things that you probably missed. But giving excuse will not be a way for you to move forward, okay? So rather than giving excuse, the question you should be asking yourself is, how can I ensure that before 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, I have already submitted this assignment. Before, is it 9 a.m. that I even told you? I think it's 8 a.m. that I said you should submit before. Everybody should submit before 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So the question you should be asking is, how can I meet up with that time? Not for somebody like me, is it possible for us not to submit? Man, I'm not going to take that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to take that. Yes, please.
Excuse me, sir. Please, can
Paul, you wanted to say something?
Please, can you send a picture of your own design to the Telegram group, sir?
The assignments will be submitted to assignments. Please, Micah or Moshara, please let me type the correct email, but I think it's assignment.graphics or maybe assignments.graphics@gmail.com. I think one of those two emails should be correct. I can't remember the correct one, but Micah, please can you help us type that?
Assignments.graphics@gmail.com.
Is it assignments with S, right?
Yes, assignments with S and graphics with S.
Sir, can you send your own design to the Telegram group, sir?
Okay, since I'm not in the Telegram group, I'm going to join the Telegram group. Now, all the designs that I gave you to do, also submit them inside the aside from submitting to email, also send them inside the Telegram group. The idea of the Telegram group is so that it's easy to share on screen when we are reviewing them. Okay, so I'm going to share some images inside the Telegram group. No problem. I'm going to do that.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Final question. Final question.
All right. Sorry.
So that means the only assignment we have is just the carousel. The other previous design we did is not inclusive as assignments.
What is the previous design you did?
That is celebrating
Independence
Day.
Carousel.
Oh, okay. Did I give you that as an assignment before?
No, I'm not.
No, the previous assignments will still submit. This is his own assignment for today.
This is my own assignment. This carousel is what I want you to do. Thank you.
Still going to submit the other ones that are existing.
Yes.
We have submitted the other one now. We submitted the youth.
If you submitted
the already now, so let's forget.
If you submitted, there's no problem. But his own, you have to submit before 8 a.m. tomorrow.
8 a.m. tomorrow. Better.
If you submit after 8 a.m. tomorrow, you know that emails have timestamp.